Hello, folks. Welcome back to Straightforward Farming Podcast. I'm your host, Tony Reed, alongside Nick McCormick, as always. Fresh off the Louisville Farm Show.
Absolutely. We're back.
We are back.
And pretty quick for us, really.
Actually, it is.
Yeah.
We're actually kind of
ahead of schedule.
Knocking them out this year. I think this will be 4 or 5 for the year.
We're killing it. Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
Getting right with it. Way better than our wives, once again.
No doubt. Yes, no doubt. We actually have special guests tonight.
That we do. Go ahead and introduce them.
On my right, we have Mr. Robert Reed, a.k.a. Bob.
What's going on, guys?
Yep.
And on my left, we have Lucas, the cattle jock Bierman.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
I'm
if you guys seen him at Louisville, Lucas was the one that was with Bob.
Yeah.
If you seen him anywhere around us or whatever. Did many people come up to you guys know who he was or not? Or
No, I had one guy stop me at the show, but otherwise people made the connection while I was standing with you. That was about it.
Gotcha. Yeah. I had a couple people come up to me that recognized me, and that was about it.
Mm-hmm. I just had people come up and tell me how my buddy shot him in the face with a shirt gun.
Yeah.
But
Bob's the one who shot the guy in the dick, though. I seen that.
Way to go, Bob.
Yep.
Well, he should have been quicker. It's not your fault.
Yeah,
He
just
won his
arched
shirt.
right off. It wasn't my fault.
Those are your fault.
Those T-shirt guns do have a lot more power than a guy realizes.
That one had some zip to it.
Yeah, they told us, like, don't point at the ceiling. Like, it'll blow the ceiling tiles out.
Yeah,
So,
that one had some zip.
yep, it was a pretty good time.
Yeah.
Yep. So what do you guys want to talk about? Anything good?
Tell us about your farm show experience.
Yeah,
Bob.
what do you think?
You guys tell us about
Lucas,
your farm
that was
show.
your first time there, right, Lucas?
Yeah, correct.
And then Bob had been there once or twice?
That'd have been my second time.
Second time, yep. So you guys done some walking around, see anything you had to have or like it or didn't like it or thought it was dumb or what?
I liked it, but I've seen about it all just from being around farm equipment. I like that 1468 with the front duals and back duals. I thought that was pretty cool. But
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty neat, especially in the Fendt booth there, seeing a lot of Fendt tractors that you don't see around here that you get to climb in, especially the Fendt combine with the joystick steering. I thought that was pretty cool to sit in.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. Yep. I think that'll be the industry standard in 10 years or less, truthfully.
Probably go that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we're kind of in a pocket that don't have much Fendt equipment here. Getting to be more and more, but there's still not a lot.
We're not in a super new equipment pocket here either, though, in our immediate area. And I say that meaning like our school district.
Yeah.
Is our immediate area. But that'll change with time. I mean, some people are still rocking 9610s.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they got a few generations to go before they get there. Well,
Exactly. That's what I've always said. Everything there at the farm show will be fucking broke by the time I can afford it. So,
Yeah, no doubt.
What
So
the
will
hell?
I. So,
yeah,
there
I'll
I
be
am.
broke and so will the machine.
Yeah, so will the machine. Yeah.
Yep. So do you guys meet up with any FFA girls or anything down there? I mean,
Yeah.
do FFA kids not wear their jackets? Like, I didn't see hardly any FFA
That's
jackets.
a good point. I don't think I saw a single one.
Used to see
and I
a
wasn't
ton of
there
them
very
down there.
long, but yeah, everybody used to wear them.
And calm down. I'm not like Booger off fucking Revenge of the Nerds. That's combing the high schools all day. I just happened to notice I didn't see a lot of FFA jackets.
No, I didn't see very many.
I talked to several FFA kids though, that come up and said they were
Maybe they clamped down to activities in formal dress versus not, though. I don't know.
Could be. And nowadays, maybe that makes you a target. You know what
yeah.
I mean? I don't know. Yep, but no, I had a good show. I enjoyed it.
A couple things I would like to see changed. Whoever come up with the card only thing, they can take that and shove it up their ass. This is America. It says legal tender. I would like to use cash. Whoever the new vendor is for the concession stand, they can shove that. You can't buy nachos, a hot dog, anything now. I don't know if they saw their demographic, but some of those menu items were pretty much useless. I didn't see a single person order collard greens.
I don't even know what that is.
Neither did anybody else.
Now, my
apparently.
wife would have been all over that. Like, she'd have cleaned them out, but she didn't go.
You could
So.
get creamy mac and cheese, but you couldn't get nachos, whatever. That they can do away with that. Pouring the beer into the cup.
Now that I'm a little
might be the
perplexed
stupidest
at.
thing I've seen. You took a lukewarm beer and turned it into a piss warm beer.
And we've now created twice as much trash, right?
Well, so the poor guys carrying the shit around have to carry away the empties. So every 4 beers, they got to go upstairs, throw them in a trash can, come back downstairs. That's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
If I wanted my beer in a cup, I'd order it in a cup. I was perfectly content with it in the aluminum bottle that it was provided in.
Yeah.
If Anheuser-Busch wanted it in a fucking cup, they just sold it to you in a keg.
Exactly. Yeah.
Whatever.
But logistically, though, think of the amount of trash that does create now. You just created 2 pieces of trash for 1 beer now.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's a big deal in an event like that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. But a great deal nonetheless. I always enjoy myself at the farm show. But
I didn't walk any of it. Walked straight in.
I didn't walk any of the show. We didn't get there till late Friday. Went over and saw all the pull and tractor stuff. Hooked up with some friends, talked to them, went to the pull, Saturday morning, more of the same. I didn't see any of the show this year. First time in probably, I don't know how many years that I really never stepped foot in the show.
Yeah.
But didn't really have time.
Did the
It's like
construction
walking.
mess much up over by Broadbent?
Yeah, I mean, so they had to move the puller parking to a different area, and that was fine. Getting from there to Broadbent was a little alleyway on the one side, which was fine. You know, they're on to bigger and better things, and new facility should be very. It looked like it was going to be very nice. So, and it says it's going to be opening by December of 2026, I think. The new
Really?
building they're building in front of Broadbent. So,
Yep.
yeah,
I'll be done.
I'm told, and I don't know if this is correct, but eventually the tractors will never go outside.
Oh, is
I
that
don't know
right?
if that's true.
Yeah.
But that's what somebody told me. Whether that's worth anything or not, I don't know. But I think after this project gets done, I think they tear off the west wing, redo it, and there's talk about eventually redoing Broadbent or tearing it down and rebuilding it or whatever the plan may be.
Gotcha.
But Gate 4 is finally back open, and it's really nice now. They did that well. So, yeah.
Well, I was telling Bob, we always got to go down there with FFA when we were in school, which our school doesn't do that anymore. I don't know.
Really?
You guys have never been there, right?
They go to the national FFA convention and the state FFA convention. I think that kind of just wipes out the FFA field trips for the year.
Gotcha. Which, they don't do senior trips or none of that anymore, so I don't know if that all falls under this category or what the deal is, but
So frustrating. We were fortunate. We went to Panama City Beach on
yeah, we did.
our senior trip during college spring break.
Yeah. Now, do you guys go to Farm Progress? I mean, that's only 30 miles from here. You don't go to that either?
Nope.
No kidding.
I know there's a lot of kids in our school that just go as groups
Yeah.
to it, but not part of the FFA.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's a school board deal. I don't know.
That's unfortunate for you guys.
Yeah.
We caught the tail end. They didn't go near as far away for senior trips after us.
No.
One or two after that, and then we didn't run it. We were well behaved. I know it's hard to believe, but we were well behaved on ours, and it went off great.
Yeah.
Our sponsors were great. Our chaperones were great. We didn't cause any grief. It was a great time.
Yep.
But
Yeah, that was about the tail end of it.
yeah, the class before us went to Orlando or something, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Ours was good.
So what do you guys raise money for then, like at school? Like, because we always you was always having fundraisers, and went to prom and homecoming and senior trip. And
sold beef jerky. Well, I didn't sell it to anybody. I just ate it and then paid for it. But
Yeah,
still,
exactly.
It was a fundraiser. Yeah. Somebody made money off it. It wasn't me, but
Right.
FFA did.
Yep.
All the fundraisers we do, it's like we have class fundraisers, and that's for prom, homecoming, all that stuff. And I assume the FFA money goes to like all your competitions, like poultry judging, beef, like all that
Yep.
kind of stuff. But I don't even know. I'm not in all that. I just in FFA for tractor day and
I
stuff.
wouldn't think that the FFA would have to pay for that. That should be a
Well, yeah, that's a
deal. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know
That's
how
no
to do
different than taking the kids to a basketball game.
Yeah.
That's not on the FFA.
I don't know what they use the money
Are you for, guys
to be
even in
honest.
FA? Are you guys sure you're in it?
We're signed up, but we're not really involved.
This is how things
you won't
fall
get
apart.
involved. I was a 2-year president.
Well, not all.
When
of us
I
can-
took over, we were in the red. When I left, we were well in the black.
Look at this balanced budget. I mean, this guy
I did have a balanced budget.
better
I
than
can assure-
JB Pritzker.
by a mile. We did not lose the Chicago Bears while I was in there. Or the Bernstein Bears even. We kept them all. We kept all the Bears.
Yep. Is it Bernstein or Bernstein? That's
don't
always
know.
the big
I don't know.
Mandela effect. I
But,
don't know.
but we were in the black when I left, I'll tell you that.
With all Bears still intact.
All the Bears.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Tractor Day's coming up. Sounds like that's a conundrum. Nobody can decide what day to have it. You're either going to have it on the day when it's 32 degrees, or you could wait a few days and have it when it's 46 degrees. I would shoot for the 46-degree day, but agreed.
I would shoot for a cab tractor.
Yeah.
Then it won't matter as much.
Yeah, but I really want to take the 1066.
Well, I totally understand that. One of the biggest arguments my dad and I ever got into was I got the old V8 all ready for Tractor Day, put the straight pipes on it. He chewed my ass about that. I'm like, we already had them. It's not like I went out and bought them. We already had them.
Yep.
Oh, I don't farm with it that way. Well, no, we don't farm with it that way. We also don't farm the road. We don't farm north of the shop, but I'm driving it there anyway. So then I took them off, put the mufflers back on, put it away, and drove my truck to school, and he was mad about that. I'm like, we didn't even take
I
a
do
tractor.
remember that, where you come to school matter.
I'm like, well, you told me I couldn't run the straight pipes. If I can't run the straight pipes, I'll just drive my truck.
Yep.
It had a straight pipe. So
Yeah, and then I think one year I was on this same 1066. I passed you. You took that 4586 or 68 four-wheel drive you had, and I passed you on the
it was
highway.
slow, yeah.
Yep. Pulled out and blew right around him.
I remember going with my brother in an F-130 Heston, probably the only kid ever to go to Tractor Day in an F-130 Heston. It was it was the last one we had, and we were running late. And I thought he was going to roll it turn at the corner because he didn't slow down. We just turned and hit the brake. There was no throttle involved. We just turned at full speed. We did make the turn. I lived to tell about it. But
That's probably a tight fit because you were still a husky fella in high
I
school.
was a
dude.
husky fellow then, and yeah, but it had room for me. Yeah, he was a little guy, so it worked out.
Yep. It's a wonder they ain't outlawed that. You know what I mean? Just as stupid as things get nowadays.
No doubt. Stupidity is rampant.
Yep. So no big FFA events coming up here soon for you guys or nothing?
Just really this FFA week where we kind of
Still the same old petting
You
zoo.
guys still do the Olympics and stuff?
Yep.
Yeah.
Petting zoo, truck day.
You dominate the tug of war. I always used to anchor the tug of war. I was pretty good at that.
I bet you did.
I was pretty good at that. Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, there was some in there. We done the FFA Olympics, but then at Christmas break we always done. They just called it Winter Olympics.
Yeah,
so it was
Winter
just
Olympics,
students
yeah.
versus a teacher. We'd always pummel them guys.
Yeah.
I think
I
we
anchored
did
that one
don't
too.
we?
You always want me on the backside of the rope.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fat guys are hard to move.
Yeah, they are. So where do you boys see the future of ag being in 20 years? If it changes as much in the next 20 as it, or basically since Nick and I was your age and we were all farming with 1066s and shit,
Yeah.
and now it's all automated. What do you guys think? Is there a future in ag?
No, I think it'll be fully autonomous.
You think so?
I really do.
Yeah, I think that definitely you won't have to have very much farm hands in the field. If you run cattle or whatever, you'll have your
Which you
guys
do.
in the-
Yeah.
yeah.
Of course,
You'll-
Mr.
it'll
Henry
just be
Vest
me-
over here,
me, Henry,
straight to the cattle.
me and Henry, a couple of horses, and
Yeah.
autonomous tractors.
Have you ever ridden a horse, Lucas?
I have not actually.
Well, I can tell you one thing, you're not missing a fucking thing.
But as a cattle guy,
As a cattle guy,
guy,
I
you
know
why
really
they-
ought to have
yeah,
one.
I could see why they call it Brokeback Mountain.
Well, that took a nasty turn. Wow.
Last time I rode a horse, it was at Nick's house. His daughter decided to hit the horse in the back, so it took off on me. I got clotheslined by a tree and fell off the horse. Haven't rode one since. Figured I
Well,
didn't
don't
need to
feel
have
bad.
one.
I took your dad that day, and that horse laid down the creek. So,
Yeah, in the middle of a barbed wire fence, and
Yeah.
thought we was going to have to shoot the horse right there, which I'd have been totally on board with. But, Yep.
never had any trouble with that horse. Tony rides it 30 foot. It's like I'm done with this guy. I'm just
Yep.
laying down. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not a cowboy.
Yeah. Sorry about you guys' luck. It's a bad deal.
Yep.
I'll just stick with my hat, vest, and a Honda Rancher.
Well, there you go. That's probably a better way to go.
Yeah.
Although if you let Henry ride it, that's not going to be the cheaper route. He has a tendency to tear four-wheelers up, just FYI.
Yeah, no, probably not. He can have his brand deal with something else, or I don't know. It'll be his pocket, not mine.
Well,
Yeah, I really need a sponsor at this point for how much money I'm getting this for.
that's true. I mean, there's guys that raced full-on top-shelf racing back in my day that spent less money than you have on yours just to ride around the yard. So
Well,
at
I'm
this
hard
point in
on
time,
stuff.
maybe you should just get another Buick and just drive it around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that Buick's pretty indestructible. It's
Yeah.
at 317,000 miles and still kicking strong.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a fact.
I have noticed that since you took ownership of it, it's a little more beat up than it was.
Yeah. Well,
The first 25 deer didn't phase it much, but one night in Bangkok with you, and it's looking a little rougher than
But
it
hey,
was.
as long as he's killing deer with it.
That's true. You kill them all.
well, if we didn't
Just
knock
don't
the
get
grill
yourself
out, we
hurt.
couldn't put a light bar on it. So
Well, that's true. I did make room for the light bar.
It doesn't help his co-pilot's not a very good influence either. So
I could see that with you.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're probably looking at the cows.
Yeah.
You have to
Well,
embryo that one. Don't have to do this. Yeah, you were paying attention to the
since he's so
livestock.
hard on stuff, we didn't have four wheelers to go check 15,000 acres worth
Well,
of
absolutely.
a ranch.
Yeah,
so we had to use the
that's
Buick.
true. Yeah, you got to check fence.
Yeah.
Is Yellowstone like porn to you? Like the ultimate.
Yeah.
No, they don't have as many Honda Ranchers on there. They
Well, for certain episodes they do. We established earlier that they have no place on that ranch to store those, and they don't have any trailers. But magically, when it comes time to get the four-wheelers out, they have trailers, four-wheelers, the whole nine. But I'll be honest with you, if I had a Dodge truck, I'd have a four-wheeler with me too. Otherwise, how the hell are you getting home? Mm-hmm. So you kind of want to keep one of those with you.
yeah.
Yeah, I think Polaris dropped the ball there. I mean, they could have.
Yeah, there are several companies that dropped the ball on that deal.
Which these damn side-by-sides are just getting out of control
Oh, it's unreal.
price-wise. I mean, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 for a side-by-side. I mean,
Our parents didn't give that for their houses.
no.
And my biggest thing is now they're trying to make the Polarises the 1500s or whatever, and they're selling them for $50,000. Why don't you just go buy a pickup?
That's where I'm at with it. I mean,
Yeah, my boss, he bought one of those 1500s. He gave 60 grand for it, for fully decked out, AC, doors, windows, and everything.
Yeah,
No thanks.
At that point, just buy a pickup.
Well, at that point, I just hire you to look at my cows, and I just stay at home.
Well, those are feedlot guys. That's boring.
Did Polaris, I assume, have a big booth at Louisville?
No idea.
I didn't see one.
Couldn't tell you. I don't
Surely
think so.
they did. I don't know.
There was a few sections there that me and Henry didn't make it to.
Did Buick have one?
Sadly, no.
No.
Okay.
There was one on top of the parking garage there by the Moxie Hotel, but
What, a Buick?
yeah.
Oh, ours, you mean?
Yeah. That's.
Yep.
I think that's plenty for a booth right
I'll bet
there.
you-
I mean,
so we get to Louisville to the show
Yep.
that morning, and we got to park in a parking garage just a block away from the hotel. No big deal. That's where everybody from the hotel is supposed to park. So we get there jammed full. I mean, we drive around this thing for 10 minutes,
Yeah.
completely full. So we finally find this ramp. We didn't know it at the time, but there was outside parking on the very, very top. So we get up there, tons of room up there, park up there, leave the car there for 2 or 3 days, whatever we were there. Get it that morning to come home, drove over to the ramp. Now they got it cabled shut, padlocked shut. I'm like, oh, well, maybe this is just the up ramp. Nope, drive the other one. So we're locked on the roof, the only fucking car up there. I'm like, for fuck's sakes. At this point, I'm just wanting to get home. It's like, I'm done with this. Let's just go. So that takes another fucking 20 minutes to go find somebody to unlock the goddamn cable to get us off the roof. But
Yeah.
I couldn't live in these cities. I just,
That's enough city for me. And
I
I
cannot do
don't
it.
get very far in it. We cut off early, go around to the backside. You're clear on the south side there by the airport. You can get in and out pretty easy, pretty quick. But I can't live in the city.
so on the way to the show, when we got there, after we got parked in the parking garage, we was all in the same Uber, wasn't we? So it was us three, me, Bob, and Lucas, Charlie Trucker, and then Popcorn Farmer Brian, and one of the buddies he brought. We got a big Uber. And so the kid that was with Brian, he was the one who booked it. And so we take off and we get on the interstate there, and I'm seeing these like vertical rock walls and this and that. And I said, this don't look right. I said, but I knew there was construction down there, so I thought, well, maybe the Uber guy, this is the way you got to go now to make it easier. I didn't know. So we go a little bit more, and Charlie sees some road sign. He turns around to me and said, he said, this ain't right. So this guy cannot speak a lick of English.
Oh, of course not.
None of them not a speck. So we keep telling her, like, you all know where you got us going, but this ain't the right way. Well, the kid put the wrong address in the Uber. I don't know where he was taking us, but it was clearly not the farm show. Yeah. So this hill jack just pulls off right on the side of the interstate. He's sitting there trying to get this thing to reload and going on. And all I'm sitting there thinking is, we're going to get hit by a fucking semi here pretty quick, and we're all going to die. Let's at least get off the interstate. This guy won't do nothing. He's pecking and all this bullshit, trying to translate it through his phone. We're probably there a good 5 minutes anyway.
Oh, yeah, every bit.
And so the guy in the back who booked it, he's like, just take us there. I'll make it right. I'll give you cash, just whatever. And this guy, that's, he's playing dumb and this and that. So finally the guy just reaches in his billfold, gets out a $100 bill, slams it on the console and said, take us to the farm show. By God, the English got real clear, real quick.
What I have learned about Ubering in Louisville is $100 bills speak volumes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And a couple years ago, we all hopped in a van. The guy's like, no, we're good. Everybody's in. Go ahead and go. He's like, no, too many people. I'm like, no, we got everybody. We're good. Same deal. He keeps squawking at us. Guy from the back throws a $100 bill. He's like, yep, we're good.
Yep.
Off we went. So I'm talking to him, and he did speak some English. I'm like, hey, I said, you about done for the night? Yep, this is my last ride. I said, no, it's not. Yeah. I'm clocking out here as soon as I drop you off. I'm like, no, you're not. I'm like, at 4 o'clock in the morning, when we leave PBR, I need you sitting right here with this door open, picking us up in this exact spot. No, man, I'm done. I'm like, nope, $200 in it for you if you're sitting right here. Guess what? We come out at 4 o'clock in the morning. His ass was sitting right there, door open, right this way, sir. Yep. We all got in. There wasn't too many people then. Of course, he clocked out of the Uber app at that point in time.
Exactly.
Went on about our way. He wasn't card only. We just went on, and that's what makes America great.
Yep.
He took us back. It was fine. No harm, no foul. It was good.
Yep.
Yeah, my boss, his cousin owns a record company, and they're just there by the interstate, and he'll go out there with Big Rex and help and whatnot. And he said, those truck drivers out there, that none of them want to speak English until they say, yeah, we'll just drop your drive shaft and tow your truck and you ride with the cop into town. And by God, they speak perfect English.
Yeah, then all of a sudden they learn English pretty quick, don't they? Yeah.
Yep. Rosetta Stone appears, and we know what's going on now.
Yeah.
I couldn't deal with that.
No, couldn't put up with it on a regular basis.
No.
Yeah. I actually didn't drive any. Once we got to the farm show, I walked back and forth a couple of times, and that was it.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I mean, I've drank tons and tons of beer with Charlie Trucker, but it just never ceases to amaze me the amount of beer that guy drinks.
He is a machine. He is a machine.
I mean, you can drink a lot the beer, but man, I don't know.
Nothing compared to Charlie Trucker.
I think the guy's got you beat.
I will not take the Pepsi challenge with him.
No,
he's got me beat.
And I mean, every night, like the first night, we were all in bed by 10:30. I think the second night we stayed up a little bit later. It might have been 1 or 1:30, but every night, Charlie, 2, 3 in the morning, just hammering them down. And he'd been doing it for at least 12 hours.
Well, you have to condition yourself, Tony.
Yeah. He's a pro. He is a seasoned.
I mean, you got to train for the Olympics. Just how it is. Yeah.
He wakes up so late. By the time he's ready, we're already getting in an Uber and heading to the farm show. So by the time he gets there,
My thing
he's
is,
already
I can't
getting
sleep
handed
in
beers.
a hotel. Like I used to be able to. I cannot sleep in a hotel. I was up early every day, and it's like,
So our hotel room was basically the size of the cab on my 78 F-250. Was the shower was in the middle of the room.
So I heard about how messed up the rooms were there.
And there was a shower curtain that went across the entire room for when you took a shower. Went across the whole room. So like if somebody's laying in bed, you had to slide the shower curtain across just so nobody could see you.
Nice.
The shitter was just in a closet.
It was a very elongated toilet though. You would have.
I would appreciate that.
I about fell in it.
Yeah, you would approve. Toilets were huge.
Nothing pisses me off more than go to a hotel and they got the little children's toilet. You can't tuck and squat and bend. Like, can we get some height and some length to this thing? Like,
now you wouldn't have fit in the closet that it was in.
yeah,
but
I didn't leave the door open.
Right,
but, yeah.
But it would have been a comfortable set when you got
Now my hotel was exact opposite. Our hotel was freshly remodeled, and I thought it was nice before. And I walked into that room like, well, shit, I've spent good money on vacation to stay at a nice place and been a lesser room than this. Like it was magical. It was great. I'm just there by myself, but I'm like, there was tons of room for everything.
I'll be done.
Yeah.
Our ceiling wasn't finished. It was just bare concrete, just like my shop floor. That was
Really?
the ceiling. Yeah.
They still had like measurements and stuff
Yeah,
written
yeah,
on it
all
on the
the-
concrete.
I could have did hot yoga in the middle of my room and not bothered anything. Like there was plenty of room in there.
Hondo was doing podcasts just set up like this in his room.
Yeah.
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 And when you get to the hotel, they have a taco bar
Okay.
downstairs, which is kind of odd, but it's all one desk. So you check into the hotel at the taco bar.
Well, there you go. So I was laughing. So our hotel is freshly remodeled. You know, and everybody's getting rid of the actual countertop like back in the day. And now we have these workstations. So they have two little workstations where they can't set an ink pen down because there's no countertop for it. I'm like, there was nothing wrong with the countertop that was there before. And whoever flip-flopped the bar and redid it clearly didn't walk around because you can't get to half the seats. It's completely blocked off. Like you could get there if you had a little drone that would pick your fat ass up and drop you off in the corner, but otherwise you can't walk there.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. But I'm not in hotel design, but I do know a few things
just like
about
we talked the other day, and me and the boys talked about this on the way to Louisville. You know, the Casey's gas stations. I mean,
Yep.
could you design it any more fucked up where you put the counter right in front of the door?
Yep, makes no sense.
You're blocking everything. I cannot figure out who designs this shit.
And who forgot to paint the lines in the parking lot? I mean, every time you show up to a Casey's, it's this guy's parked at an angle this way, and this guy's the other way, and there's one in the middle.
Our local gas station, which calling it a gas station at this point is a bit of a stretch of the term, but so the parking spots are east and west, and I can't tell you how many times recently, since the lines have got a little bit faded, some out of town will be north-south in all
I
three
just seen
spots.
that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing here, bud? Like, take a look around. There's a car parked the other way. You're perpendicular. That's not right. Scan the room.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah. It's amazing how fast they tear that farm show down.
Oh, it's unreal.
when
It
it's
goes
done.
down way faster than it goes up.
Yeah, I mean, within literally like hours when it's over. I mean, you
Well,
see.
can you imagine working that thing? You'd be ready to
Oh,
get the F
yeah.
out of there too. Like,
Yeah.
get my shit and get it out of here.
I don't know how some of them guys, them companies just do show after show after. I mean,
Oh.
that has got to get old. I would.
That
think.
would get old. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know because I don't know. It wouldn't be my thing. But
No, I've helped on some of that just a little bit here and there. Not my cup of tea.
yeah, I'm heading to Commodity Classic next week in San Antonio. And have
Oh,
you ever
for
been
the-
to that?
for the big unveil?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The big John Deere unveil, which looks like they've already let the cat out of the bag on that. I've seen. Zach Johnson.
I've never been. I would like to go, but this would be a good year to go because it's in Texas. I would.
Yeah, and it's a whole different atmosphere because that's like, and don't quote me on this, but it's like $2,500 a person to get into that. Like there's no tire kickers, no fucking around. Like that's business.
It's the real deal.
Yeah. It ain't near as big, but it's a little more professional. But I don't give a shit about the corn grower winners and all that stuff. But they'll have that there and all that shit. So
yeah, zippity doo dah.
Yeah. Yep. You gonna try any big yield products this year? Biologicals? Anything wild?
Oh, I'm going all in. I'm throwing the kitchen sink at it. I'm going to try to use rain.
Yep.
And soil, and something else. Probably.
Yeah. I put on
a little bit of fertilizer.
Yeah.
I put on literally a shitload of biologicals. Literally about 10,000 pounds an acre of manure. So
manure. Yeah,
that's going to be my
help.
biologicals.
Yeah.
So
no, we are going to dabble in some of it just a little bit. I always like to play with a little bit here and there on different things, but some of that shit's so hard to judge because every year is different. And did it rain after you put it on?
And that's what I've always said with farming. I think that's why it's so easy to sell farmer stuff because there are so many variables that nobody can really prove if it did or didn't work. You know, well, you ran a strip through here and it yielded this. Well, the one beside it didn't. Well, that's different soil type. Like we literally have that here. Like your soil type can change that much.
I can tell you at our home farm there, like if we're going 16 rows wide, right, and we're alternating products every 16 rows, there's a couple strips in there that are always going to lose. I don't care what you put on them; they're not going to be as good as the one next to them. There's a buffalo wall or whatever; it's not going to be as good.
A little flatter, needs tile,
needs whatever. Like you're not going to overcome some of that. But
yeah, on one hand, I would have thought some of that stuff would have backed off with farming being what it is, but on the other hand, it's almost like they're pushing it harder because guys are trying to find a different way.
Because they're backing off of dry.
Exactly.
And trying these other products. Because let's face it, we might have been getting the wool pulled over our eyes a little bit on the dry thing over the years, right?
I think so.
You know, you need this, you need that. Well, I'm on a 30-year build and I haven't built any yet. I mean, I've listened to you every year, just throwing dry after dry after dry to it. And
that's because your yields keep increasing. Well, now, I mean,
maybe. Yeah, they didn't increase last year.
Exactly.
Turns out Mother Nature bats last. If it don't rain, I ain't got shit. So that dry should still be there.
Yeah.
Because only X number of percent's available from year to year anyway. So we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is. And, you can pull your hair out. I used to be on the page of rip every acre every year. I don't know if that's the answer anymore. I still do it. But I think as long as you rip it every 3 or 4 years, I think it's enough just to keep the stratification under control. But I don't know.
We got some we rip every year, some we rip once every 3 years, some we never rip. Because it varies so much from farm to farm. Like some of that shit. The one time I did try to rip the one farm, I pulled up basically an entire house that some asshole buried years ago.
Now you drag that shit out for the next 5 years.
I drug 10 sheet after 10 sheet after 10 sheet out. I'm like, I think I'm done ripping here. I think I'm going to move on. Yeah. There's plenty of iron in that soil, though. It's good there. But, And erosion plays into that. Some of those farms just can't rip because of the way they lay.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, so I don't know what the answer is. I mean, seems like everybody and their dog has a vertical tillage tool now. I don't own one or pull one of any kind. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I don't know.
I like vertical tillage, but they didn't define it tight enough. Now, half these vertical tillage deals are really just discs that you can pull faster than a normal disc.
For sure, yeah.
It turns out they cost 3 times as much, and, you can pull them faster, but you could just buy a 496 and buy a really big one and go slow and do the same thing.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to go fast. Everybody's Ricky Bobby. I got to go fast. So whatever. That's fine.
And you never see a good used vertical tillage tool. I mean, they've been across 9 million acres and just
never used it. Completely wore out.
Yep.
Kind of like rotary hose.
Yeah.
Bought a new one. Never used it. Wore out. I think maybe used it some. Whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. In my humble opinion, what's your thoughts on machinery? Like the new good stuff I think has come down, or I shouldn't say brand new, but I mean, stuff with 200 hours, I think people have backed off on, but a good, like my 8200, I mean, them seem to be hanging right in there.
Your good pre-emission stuff still doing fine. There's ebbs and flows to it, and some of that stuff, the world has too many combines. Let's just call a spade here. The world has too many combines.
Yep.
So if Deere and Case would get together and say, hey, we're not making combines for 2026, they'd be doing themselves and the world a favor. We're way overstocked on those and probably big planters as well. what's your second tier market to some of that shit that plays into it. But your good, clean front wheel assist tractors and 4-wheel drives or whatever that are, we'll call them mid-size for lack of a better term, are doing just fine. You know, if I give you a 715 quad and a 48 row planter and an X9 1100, what are you going to do with them?
Yeah.
So that stuff suffers a little bit in times like these because there's no backside market to it. But a good clean 8200, 8400, whatever, 7240 Magnum, 305 Magnum, they sell fine.
Yeah.
You know, they're doing fine.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on all this? You know, they're going to undo some of this EPA regulation. I mean, is that actually going to happen? I mean, I just look at it as the next president can just reinstate what was just undone, can't they, or not? Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I don't think your major manufacturers will make a huge change until that gets like really beat in. In the meantime, there'll be a lot of short line companies that'll make a lot of money swapping it off. But I mean, something has to be done. This shit's not going to run another 10 years.
No, it ain't sustainable.
Something has to be done, but I don't know that your major manufacturers are going to make huge changes. Like they're not dropping all that emissions shit off tomorrow, probably, unless that goes through Congress and gets passed as a long-term deal.
Yeah. Would it physically take a lot of re-engineering to design these motors? Like, you know, I knew it took forever to design the motor to get this shit on there, but is it just as simple as just taking it off, or are you going to have to do a whole new re-engineering thing to make it where it doesn't have, like, I know you can delete it, it'll run, but it's still going through the
Nah, it wouldn't take
components.
that much. It wouldn't take that much to.
What I didn't know.
To short term unmess it up wouldn't be that big a deal. To long term unmess it up would take a wee bit of time to make it maximally efficient, but wouldn't be that big a deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes back the other way a lot quicker than it goes the other way. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
You can go down the hill faster than you can go up the hill. So
Yeah.
you could back a bunch of that off. If they just focus on horsepower and fuel efficiency, the emissions thing would take care of itself.
Well, didn't you tell me a long time ago that you had a friend over Netherlands or somewhere, and like all them trucks in Europe are like 1,000 horsepower, or like it's ungodly.
Yeah,
Like,
it's way more than ours, and they're all day cab, or excuse me, they're all cab overs for the most part.
Yep.
But they focus on horsepower and emissions. Of course, their diesel fuel is a little different, and their emission thing's different, and they don't have to screw with some of the shit we screw with. Not that I want to be like Europe in general, but
yeah.
you could solve a whole bunch of this. Like you and I have talked about this 1,000 times. I don't care if you buy a 78 Ford or a 2026 Chevrolet pickup truck, you're going to get somewhere between 10 and 15 mile a gallon. I don't care if it's a Silverado, a Platinum, a King, they all get 10 to 15.
Yeah.
That's just what they get. We haven't improved on that one freaking mile a gallon in my entire life.
I can show you right here in them Prairie Farmer magazines from the 70s. They'll show like one of them old great big Caprice classic cars.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as a shop, you know, average miles per gallon on the highway, you know, 24, some of them are 28, you know, whatever. Same thing.
It's a crock of shit. And my one buddy pointed this out to me here. It's been 3 or 4 years ago now, but I think he's right. He's like, this new shit, you know, with the integral trailer brake and all that, which is great, works fine, works phenomenal. He's like, that truck knows as soon as you plug a trailer in. He's like, I can literally hook the smallest lawnmower trailer you've ever seen in my truck and drop 5 mile a gallon.
Really?
I'm like, I think it knows, right? Like, oh shit, this guy's pulling a trailer. We should purposely screw him. I'm not saying it's that way, but it sure seems that way.
Yeah.
You know?
That's one thing you boys don't ever fall into is having the new vehicles trend and all that shit. It's fucking headaches. Don't do it. I know it looks cool. You want to be a big swinging dick, but there ain't no pickup truck on this planet worth $100,000.
No.
Not in my humble opinion.
To be honest, I don't even think the new trucks look cool.
I don't either.
1978 Ford, my truck, I think they all look cool. Nick's 7.3, I think they all look cool.
Yep.
I just had this conversation with a buddy of mine tonight, actually, on my way over here. And we were talking about tractor pull stuff, but it blended into this. I'm like, and I fall into this category. I'm not saying I don't. We are trained in America to think the more it costs, the better it is at some level. And I don't care if it's, you're going to go buy a pair of Nikes and Bob's going to buy a pair of Air Jordans.
If these brooms hanging on the wall over here and this one's $30 and the other one's 10, you're going to be like, well, that 10's a piece of shit. Why else is it $10?
So you're naturally drawn towards the one that's a little more. When's the last time you saw an XLT pickup truck that wasn't a utility company's truck? Like, they're all King Ranches or Platinums. You know, you get one with cloth now, you're like, can that guy even feed his kids?
Yeah.
Like, who bought that? You know, and it's just, it's that way with everything. It doesn't matter if it's shoes, clothes, pickup trucks, farm tractors, whatever. We all fall into that category. I'm the same way. It's like, well, if I'm gonna buy a gently used 2009 Magnum, right? Well, I want it to have red leather. That's the second one. I want the red leather one. The cloth one's arguably more comfortable. Your ass probably sweats less in it, so on and so forth. But I want the red leather one because, well, by God, I wanted the top of the shelf of whatever category I'm in. I want the top shelf one that I think I could afford at that time.
I would love to know the stats on the markup and the margin. I wonder if it's the most on the middle of the road, because guys like me and most guys I know, well, I didn't buy the cheap one. I didn't really want to buy the most expensive, so middle of the road. That's probably where the most margin and money is
Probably
made,
is.
on the middle of the road.
Yeah, probably is.
Truth be known. But
You know,
I don't know. That new shit just doesn't turn me on anymore. I'm just sick of the electronics and the fucking push buttons and the touch screens and the cameras.
But it's everything.
It is. Yeah, you can't get away from
it. It's
it.
all that way. I mean, it's just all that way. So ridiculous. But that's where we're at. Doesn't matter what it is. I mean, when we were kids growing up, you got a key for your hotel. Now you get this card key. Now they're trying to push that out where you just got an app on your phone and, you shine your phone at it, and that works too. Okay, cool. Just whatever. It is what it is. We're not going to change it, but I can still bitch about it.
Exactly. But that shit all leads back to just a little shit like the Louisville Farm Show. Oh, card only now. We're
Card
getting
only. Yep.
I don't know.
And then they turned around, here's your suggested tips. And I had two beer vendors side by side selling the same Busch Light. Their suggested tip scale was different. And I'll tip you because I know you're just trying to make a living too. But you're not going to remember me. You're not giving me better service the next time I come up here for whatever. And you literally handed me a beer that I already paid $10 for, that I know damn good and well I can buy for $2 at the gas station.
Yeah. Call me an ass. I never tipped any of them, which I didn't buy that many because people were handing them to me. But it's like you literally turned to your left, opened the cooler, poured it in a cup, and handed it to me. Yeah. I could have done that if you'd have gave.
Absolutely. I didn't want it in a cup.
Yeah.
I'll pay you $2 extra to not put it in a cup.
Yeah.
I was fine with the bottle it was in. But I'm a sucker on all that shit. Whatever.
I still think it comes back. I shouldn't have to pay tips on anything. Like, no, that ain't my job.
That's the dumbest culture ever.
I mean, you guys didn't run your shop that way. No. Your dad, labor rate's $100 an hour. We're only going to charge you 25, but I expect you to tip me good. Well, that don't work that way.
I got tipped one time. My entire career, I've been tipped one time. The guy felt bad. Something happened, whatever, and I solved this problem for him or whatever. And he's like, man, you didn't have to do that. I appreciate it. We were loading something up and something happened, and I solved it for him. And he tipped me for it. But
in fact, and I'm not speaking for you. I'm not saying this is your business, but a lot of mechanics I talk to, especially independent mechanics, it's the other way. Well, you put a clutch in this tractor 15 years ago, 3,000 hours ago, it's starting to buck and slip. You going to help me out on this? It's come on, motherfucker. I mean, it wasn't the next day. It was 15 years ago.
Yeah, I get that side of it way more than I get the tipping side of it. I can tell you that. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't do that shit to people.
No. Well, my thing is at all those ballparks or whatever you're talking about, those venues, like you're already charging me. For example, it's been a couple years ago. I took my daughter to a club volleyball tournament, and they wheel the screen around. Here's your suggested tips, and the gal says something to me about it. Well, we're here as volunteers. Well, that's neat, but you're charging me $10 for a Coke.
Yeah.
You should have negotiated better.
Last time I checked, a volunteer doesn't get paid, so that's probably what I told the bitch.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't,
I mean, did the people Habitat for Humanity build a house and stand there with their hand out? Well, goddamn, we just built your house. I mean,
probably they were led by Jimmy Carter. They probably did.
Well, yeah, true.
Yeah, but yeah, the tipping culture's got out of hand. And when the minimum tips 20%, I think we're shoving it a little too far on something.
And now when they ask you on everything, I don't care if it's McDonald's or where it is, would you like a tip? No, and I don't want to round up. I don't want to do nothing.
So I go to pick up pizza at my local carry-out place. I never go in. You want to? I'm going through the drive-through.
Yeah,
like
I'm going to start.
But I feel bad.
I run through McDonald's today. I was in a hurry. Run through, got a sandwich, and when I got to the window, they asked me if I wanted to round it up to whatever for whatever, and I think I'm gonna beat it to it from now on. I'm gonna just beat him to the fucking point, and at the speaker, I'm gonna ask them, "Would you guys like to round that down to fucking help pay for my gas?" I mean, what's the fucking difference?
I agree 100%. My thing is, you're a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah.
Why don't you round it up yourself? Why don't you give some money to Ronald McDonald House? Here's my bitch with Ronald McDonald House, and they probably do some good things. But a good buddy of mine, years ago, it's been 10, 15 years ago, they were doing a big fundraiser, and they picked a different charity every year. and they were going to donate to Ronald McDonald House that year. But they were raffling off a gun, and they would not accept the money because it was from a firearm. So I'm done. I won't give a plug down. I wouldn't give the sweat off my ass crack to Ronald McDonald House at this point.
Yeah, you're right.
And I hope I never need them, and this comes back to bite me in the ass. But if they won't take it for that, then you're good. You've got all the money you need.
Exactly. Tried to give it to you, and you wouldn't.
These guys worked their ass off, and they had a huge, big fundraiser deal out of it. It was several $1,000s. Nope, we won't accept it. Then I guess you're good. You've got every dime you need.
Exactly.
You're good for life.
Yep.
And McDonald's makes a hell of a lot more money than I do.
Yeah.
So they can have all they want.
Yeah, one time, I think on that movie, The Founder, I was just talking about this with somebody the other day. It's called The Founder, got Michael Keaton in it, talking about the McDonald's story. And I think it said at the end of that movie that they were the largest real estate owner in the world at one time.
Yeah.
When you stop and think about that, yeah, they only own 1 or 2 acres, whatever it is, but when you multiply that by fucking 80,000 or whatever
When was
they
the last
got.
time you saw a new McDonald's get built?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Not a remodeled one.
Right, a new one. Been
A
long
new
time.
one. It's been a long time.
Yep.
They're on the downhill slide.
But Long John Silver's, by God, up here in Springfield.
They're coming back.
They're coming back.
They're coming back.
They are building a new one from scratch.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
They're on
I
it.
don't know on them new builds if they just automatically set the termites loose when they build it, or if they let them come in naturally. I don't know.
I don't know. There's probably a little bit of both.
Yeah.
A little bit of both.
The sketchier the Long John Silver's looks, the better. I mean, you could fall through the wall in that one I go to down here at Effingham. I mean, like, you don't lean on the wall when you're
The
in line,
last
you'll fall
building,
out.
the last original building on that stretch from our childhood. Everything else has been rebuilt, tore down,
Yep.
something else. That one's still standing.
We have revived that fucker single-handedly on TikTok.
we have not. You have. I have not done shit.
You can't get in that place.
I have told people that in my vehicle, no, you're going to eat somewhere else. I'm not pulling in there. But that's just who I am.
Yeah.
I think on the application at Long John Silver's, it's a requirement that you've had to have smoked pot or you currently smoke pot.
Yeah, and piercings, face piercings.
Yes.
But that's fine. They make good fish.
So tomorrow will be a huge day for Long John's. It's the first Friday of Lent. So
yep.
the line will be deep.
Yep, that it will.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Maybe they'll have enough money to mop the floor.
Yep.
Who knows?
So I didn't realize this, and I'm not going off on a religion deal, and I don't care who eats fish when. This ain't knocking any religion. I thought, and I know for a fact, I've talked to certain Catholics that eat fish every Friday, year round.
Yeah.
And I thought that's how it was, but then I've talked to others like, no, that's only during Lent. So I don't know which way it goes, or maybe it's
I think the rule is for Lent, but it's a made-up rule, but still.
Gotcha.
Yeah, nothing to do with religion. It has to do with boost the price of fish back in the day, but that's neither here nor there. Not to make the Catholics
I've heard
mad,
that,
but that's what it was originally for. They were fishermen, and they had to boost the price. Whatever.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I still maintain that fish is meat. It's from an animal. It's flesh.
To me, it is.
Seems like it would be meat. But
I mean, I don't think it's a vegetable, but I mean,
Yeah.
to me, it's meat. But,
Yeah, whatever.
but yeah, to each your own. Eat fish whenever you want.
Yeah. Knock yourself out.
Yep.
So are you going to take me to Long John's tomorrow for my birthday?
We can. Is that where you want to go?
I don't know. I don't care.
We can. We'll do her.
Yeah,
I'll never turn down an opportunity to go there.
that's true. He won't. He won't.
Yep. That's what you want to do. That's what we'll do.
If we all go together in the 78, you have to buckle me in, though, Bob.
Yeah.
I don't fit in that very well.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, and I guess you don't fit in either of the Buicks very well.
I can get in the Buick. I can't get out.
Like an old man. Don't like them cars. They sit too low. I can't get out of them.
That's true. The Buick you currently have, I drove it over here when we got the 78. I drove it over here because we met at my house. And when I got here, I'm like, well, it doesn't tilt. Don't know how I'm going to get out of this. I guess I'm just going to fall over and drag myself out. Well, that's pretty much what I did. Either that or call the jaws of life. So I did get out, but barely. Your dad's Buick is a little easier for me, but still a challenge.
Yeah.
My knees are going bad, Bob. It's not working out good for me.
Yep. Yeah, well, Bobby be the big 1-7 tomorrow.
Holy cow.
Where did the name Bob come from? I didn't give you the name Bob. Where did that ever come from? Come from school, didn't it?
Yeah, it came from school. So I used to be the manager of the basketball team when I was in 7th and 8th grade. And they always called me Bobby Boucher because water boy. And then Lucas sitting over here shortened it to Bob, and also was the one who started Bobby Boucher. So, and then it just stuck.
Gotcha.
There was a lot of questions about that there at the
Believe
farm
me.
show. A lot of people thought your name was actually Bob.
Yeah.
But then when you told them, there's quite a few questions on why.
Yeah, I never did know exactly where it come from. That's news to me.
I prefer Roll Out Robert.
Yeah. Yep. Robert the Remodeler.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
For the
It's funny,
longest
though,
time.
how some nicknames stick, though. Like, we've had friends over the years when we were
absolutely.
little. You'll call this guy something for a little bit, and it never stuck, but you'll call this other guy this one time, and it sticks
it's
like
there
glue
forever.
for the
Yeah.
rest of his life.
Yeah. My personal favorite's the one that are completely awesome or completely opposite. Like if you called me slim, not the case. Those are the ones that I really enjoy.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought at some point in time yours had something to do with Bob the Builder from way back, but I guess not.
No, not to my knowledge.
The water boy. Mm-hmm. Yep. So we all learned that together because I had no clue.
I do get that question a lot. I've told a variety of different stories on why they call you Bob.
Yeah.
I like to keep it fresh, mix it up.
Yep. Well, I guess I could put that on TikTok now that I know where it come from.
Yeah.
I just knew it come from school, but I didn't know
Yeah.
what the meaning was.
For the longest time when Henry didn't have a phone on the basketball bus on the way home, he'd have to call Carolyn to come pick him up, and he used my phone so often I just saved the number as Bobby Boucher's mom. And it was like that for the longest time.
Until yesterday.
Yep.
Sometimes what mama doesn't know. Oh, the water boy.
The big 17, what I wouldn't give to go back to them days.
No doubt. No doubt. To be young again.
Yep.
It's all getting old.
Boy, it is.
Take care of your ears and your knees.
And your eyes.
And your eyes. And, well, pretty much your whole body.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade it. I had a pretty good run.
I did too. Yeah, if I died tomorrow, I've had a good run. Don't regret anything. Had a ton of fun. More fun than probably most people have ever had. Mm-hmm. And a lot of it was just by chance, being at the right place at the right time.
That's true. But the only way you can be at those places is if you go out.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it with kids nowadays that don't go out? Like, I know you guys try to do what you can, but when nobody else, is it the sports because nobody can, or is
I think it's partially the sports, and then like you guys have said before, it's so cliquey now. Like you want to go to this, you go to this party, it's like they won't go because this one person's gonna be. It's like, well, there's 400 other people here, just don't talk to that person.
That's
like,
pretty simple. We never ever had that trouble when we were younger, ever.
No.
Me and Lucas try to just get along with everyone. Like these people aren't for you, just keep moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think another thing is you've talked about it before. Helicopter parents. It's
Oh, there's a shitload of that. I'm married to one.
Yeah.
Which she's actually not as bad as most.
I didn't know there was that many Chinooks still left, going in Hueys, but they're out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll give that. My wife ain't as bad as most, but she's way more helicoptery than I've ever been. I'm not knocking my wife, but they'll figure it out.
They want a lot of details that, men in general can't provide. And frankly, I don't care about enough to ask.
Yeah.
And then I think another thing is just the cameras and everything else. Like you can't get away with anything anymore, just constantly.
Yeah. You guys do have that on you all the time. That would get old.
Yeah. Yeah. Between school, parties, whatever, there's always somebody that's going to take a picture. It's it. And the internet's forever. Once it's there, it's there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah. We want you to grow up in a world that ain't here anymore. I mean, you guys would have had fun if you could have grew up with us. I will promise you that.
That's true.
Nick and I hit it just right because we had older brothers, or I had two brothers, he had one. Everybody was older, but by default, we got to run around with them. Well, they all was getting established in life and had money and could afford to do things that we couldn't do, and we got to watch a lot of cool people tear up a lot of cool shit.
Yeah, that's true.
They just
utterly destroy it. But it wasn't that expensive back then.
No, it wasn't.
We saw more trucks wrecked now that we would kill to have.
Yeah.
And they cost 3 times now what they cost then, And they were old then. It wasn't new shit, you know. But, we were fortunate there.
Yeah, we were. Had a lot of fun.
Yeah, about any time now you hit a deer, knock a headlight out, the insurance totals your car.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
I mean, how do some of these kids, and I'm not talking you guys, but I see kids that are 20 years old, just right out of high school, with, like, I see them on Facebook all the time, and I know these kids, and they've got them for sale on Marketplace. They're wanting $45,000 for this truck. Well, it's like, well, I know you've been fuck around this thing for at least 3 years, so what did you give for it when you bought it? I mean, and you've
absolutely
pimped it all out and got a lift kit and big tires. How do they afford that? Just the insurance and just buying the truck? I mean,
Oh, a lot of it is supported by parenting.
I mean, it'd have to be.
A lot of parental funds,
Yeah. Well, they say the best way to get it is to inherit it. So, but still, damn. Like there again, I mean, some of that shit's more than a house cost when I was a kid.
It is. And I get it. We were working for $5 an hour when we were 12 years old, where these guys could literally work for
But
20.
I just saw a deal the other day for us to have the same, our generation, Gen X, for us to have the same buying power that our parents had at our age, minimum wage would have to be $65 an hour.
Is that right?
Yeah. I don't know if that's accurate. I just saw a deal on it. But I would say it's probably pretty close.
Well, there's a lot of hidden caveats. Just look at the price of health insurance alone.
Absolutely.
Damn near takes an entire, what do you want to call it, a salary or whatever, you know, of
One
just one person.
person's working just for health insurance.
Absolutely.
Out of a two-person couple, one person's working for health insurance.
Yeah.
You know?
And then the other guy's got to come up with the light bill, the grocery bill, the gas money, the home
Absolutely.
insurance, the mortgage. I mean,
The list goes on and on.
yeah,
I mean, what I pay for dumpster service and water would have ran my parents' household,
absolutely.
you know?
Yeah.
And that's just two things. That's not counting heat or any of that stuff. That's just getting the trash picked up and having water to your
Yeah.
house.
I told you the story the other night when we were sitting here talking with some guys, and I won't go into the whole story, but when my mom and dad bought their first place in the country, they bought 20 acres for $300 an acre.
Yeah.
I mean, which was in 1980. I mean, that was still, wasn't like they were giving it away. I mean, that was a lot of money then, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
still.
Your dad was still nervous about it at that time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, he'd rather bought it for $2 and still would have been nervous about that.
That's right.
Yeah. I just talked to a guy today. I'm like, it's to the point that you have to start buying houses for your kids now because they'll never be able to afford one.
No, they won't.
I mean, certain career paths, if you just look at, they'll never be able to buy a house.
Nope.
At the rate houses are going up versus wages, they can't pull it off.
I mean, it looks to me like a bubble, but the bubble never comes. We said that when farmland went to $7,000 an acre. All that, there ain't no way that's going to work. And then it went to fucking 20. I
You
mean,
know, when we were kids, the occasional farm still sold with a house. Outside of your place, I can't think of a farm that came with a house.
not in this school district.
No, hadn't been one.
Nope. That's why as soon as they called up about this, I knew it was going to take a lot of work, but I bought it. I didn't care.
This is the only one I can think of that came with a farm.
A house in the country with 2 acres does me no good. I just will stay in town at that point.
Exactly.
I mean, I can't do anything with it. So,
No, you're not wrong.
but yeah, they always got to split everything off. I made a TikTok about that here a while back, and I do not understand it. I do not understand the farmsteads. I get why they do it when it's going good. When everybody builds 4 houses on the same farm, that's all good, great, and grand. But I guess if you don't care about the next generation,
Yeah,
I mean,
we're going to do them later.
yeah, I know of several farms around here that's got 2 or 3 houses on them right in a row.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you going to do 20 years from now when you guys are all dead? I mean,
Because nobody's having enough kids to populate
exactly.
that.
And then a lot of them had kids that don't want to farm, and so they're gone. Well, now they're not going to want the house back. And then I'm not living in the country with somebody literally a next door neighbor 50 foot away like that.
So the key to young guys is have more kids than you think you want, younger than you think you want them. It'll work out just fine. Turns out when you have kids, when you're broke as shit, they don't need all that fancy shit.
No, they don't
you
need
just
none
got
of
enough to keep them alive. That's fine. You won't regret it later on. My biggest regret in life is not having more kids.
Yep.
If I was doing life over again,
We would have if the doctor wouldn't have shut us down. We always wanted to have 6 kids, and after 3,
I'd have went for 5, but I didn't want 5 until I only had 2. I love the 2 that I've got. But my wife was one of 5. I'm like, what a pain in the ass. And then at some point in time, the light bulb came on. It's like, my son could use a brother. My daughter could use a sister.
I've talked about this for us before. I always felt bad for Bob. He wasn't a sports guy, which is totally fine with me. I wasn't a sports guy. There's better shit to do in the world. But he got screwed by default. He didn't have a brother. Well, then all the friends are playing sports. Well, then, so that's why he learned to work with his hands, and I guarantee he can tear apart anything in this fucking shop and put it back together. Ain't a lot of kids in that school that can.
No,
so
that's true.
I ain't got to worry about him. I mean,
But it'd been a lot more fun to have a brother to do that shit with when you're growing up.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And even back then, or at least for me, just because my mom and dad's families both were so big, even if I would have been an only boy, I would have had 400 cousins, and we spent a lot of time with all them, doing shit. So you'd had somebody, but he didn't even have that, because one brother lives away. Then Carolyn's kid, her side, they were all older.
Yeah.
Then had the younger ones, and it didn't work out. He didn't even have cousins. So
I was the youngest cousin on my mom's side. And my dad's side didn't have that many, and they were further away. And
And I will tell you boys this, don't be scared to take a risk when you're young. Now, I'm not saying don't go bet the farm on the roulette wheel. Like, you got to have sense about it. But I remember when Carol and I first got married, the first house we bought in town, we give $35,000 for it. And that was fine. Like, there wasn't a lot of sweating on that. Like, that wasn't a huge deal.
Yeah.
Well, it was the year Henry was born, so we lived there for 3 years. The year Henry was born, a real nice house that my dad had built come up for sale on the other end of town. We really wanted it. Well, they wanted 120 grand for that. It's like, well, now this, at the time, you got a new baby, another one maybe on the way, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that's going to be a little tight. And like, fuck it, just do it. So we did. Of course, interest was dirt cheap then. I think we financed, like 3 or 3.5%.
Yeah.
Made that work. And then this farm comes up for sale. Now they're jumped up into 300,000. It's like, how's that going to work? I told Carolyn, fuck it, just buy it.
Yeah.
And bought it and paid it off in 8 years.
They knew you were going to cost a lot of money, Bob, but Joe was no problem. They're like, she didn't cost that much.
I'm probably the cheapest kid they got, truthfully.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yep. But if you look at it, though, Bob, all the years I was hard on you, though, it was for a good reason. Like, you got a damn nice truck sitting here. It ain't tore all the hell. It ain't.
Because I don't drive it.
But, I mean, you know what I mean.
Because your four-wheeler, you kind of destroyed again.
Yeah, you got to take all the rage and stuff out on the four-wheeler, not the nice truck.
There you go.
Or the Buick.
But I get it. You parked it because it's winter and salt and whatnot. I totally get it. But that's why I did what I did, because it wouldn't have taught you nothing if I just said, well, here you go, and you just
It's not because we're assholes, because we're assholes with a point, Bob.
Yeah.
There's a method to our madness. Now, unfortunately, you never got to see your grandpa the way your dad and I remember him, and the way your dad remembers my dad, where they were in full asshole mode. But there was a point to all of it, right?
Yeah, and they had a lot on their plate back then. They both ran their own businesses,
And you could be an asshole then. Nobody thought anything about it because they had a lot of. Now, if you're an asshole, everybody's like, well, I don't know why he's being such an ass. Well, it's because we still got a lot on our plates, and we're trying to prove a point here on some things. But
yeah, we seen a lot of kids when we were younger that parents gave them everything. They just destroyed everything they touched because they weren't paying for it. They didn't care.
Didn't care.
Me and Lucas have already seen a lot of that, and we're both only 16 or 17.
Yeah. Yep, and you'll continue to see that as long as people shovel it across the table to them. They just no respect for any. I mean, it wouldn't be no different if you come in here tomorrow and said, "Yeah, I got this four-wheeler here, and I don't give a shit what happens to it, whatever. Just do, yeah, I'm going to go rod the fuck out of it." I mean, just the way that's going to go down. I didn't buy it, you know.
Absolutely.
But I don't know. You just can't.
Well, and we were raised by the Vietnam generation. They'd been yelled at, they'd been shot at, they'd been this, that, and the other, And now you raise your voice. Well, why are you yelling at me? I didn't yell at you. If I yell at you, you'll know.
Yeah.
You'll know.
Yep. Yeah, Bob knows when I'm pissed and screaming. I mean, he's seen that firsthand, which I haven't had to do that in literally
a long time.
Yeah. I mean, years. But
don't take it for granted. Tomorrow could be a rough day, Bob.
Yeah.
Long Johns might be closed.
Yeah.
This deal could go off the rails. Who knows?
It could bigger.
Yeah.
But if you don't discipline your kids when they're young, then don't even try to do it when they're 15 because they're gone. You ain't going to catch.
And I don't like to do it, but I do it occasionally just to prove a point.
Yeah.
Just to let people know that.
About the only time I ever get on Bob now, and I still don't scream and yell and throw shit, is I'm super particular about the tools in the shop. I want the tools put back where they were.
Yeah.
And sometimes that fails, and it might only be across the shop here, around the four-wheeler, whatever, but when I'm working on something, I go to get a 9/16 wrench, and it's gone. Now I got to go look for it.
Yeah.
Then I get pissed. And I want shop tools in the shop, and I want truck tools in the truck. Don't intermingle them.
Yeah.
So shit gets lost.
Damn it, Bob.
Yeah.
But you got to admit, shit runs pretty smooth here, though. When you need something, you know right where to go get it. You're not looking for it. You're not hunting for it. Where's this at? Well, somebody drug it here, and it's in the house, and it's right here. Grab it.
That's my biggest complaint with my boss currently. There's nothing as organized, and it seems like you spend more time just looking for the tool, the part you need,
and you get
working
that
on it.
In their defense, you get that with livestock people.
Yeah.
Because like you never see an organized dairy farm in this area or back in the day. Not nothing against them. They just didn't have time to do that.
That's what they'll tell you anyway. Yeah.
But I don't know. Everybody's different too. And I know guys that were just grain farmers that never had livestock that were still disorganized as shit. Some people just don't care. I mean,
it's because their dad never yelled at him for it. That's where
right.
Shit went south. Yeah.
Yep. And we can give your boss Dylan some shit anyway. Like he needs it. He needs.
Oh yeah. Dylan
My dad telling me one time, I've had all this shit since 1968. I'll let you help me one time. I can't find half of it. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry.
Yeah.
I still got most of it though.
Well, and to me too, though, when I never had nothing nice before, it was always shit pieced together and working in the rain and rolling around the rocks. It's like when I finally get something nice, I'm not going to just destroy it and just
no doubt
make a mockery of it.
Well, the key to good parenting, Tony, is a little bit of negligence. Frank Gallagher. Not
It
wrong
is.
there. Not wrong.
Yep. And speaking of that, Bob, there was 2 sledgehammers left out here. They're in the back of your truck now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in the camper, aren't they?
Way to go, Bob.
Luckily, I didn't need a sledgehammer. You got a text message.
Yeah, I would have.
Grass,
I didn't
yeah.
realize they were gone, but
Yeah, I kind of forgot all about those.
yeah, that's all right.
I've tried to acquire enough shit because I lose stuff on my own that if I have enough of it, well, it's got to be somewhere. I mean, you're bound to stumble across it somewhere.
Yeah.
You know.
But I know as a kid, helping different farmers off and on, whether you're baling hay or whatever, you got to see all different kinds, right? And some people, it's like, it literally takes longer to find the tool to fix the problem than if all this shit was just organized. I
Yes,
mean, it just
absolutely.
takes just a little bit of organization, but they've done that for years and have always got by.
Just how it is. Yeah.
That just drives me
And
insane.
we got a couple buddies that literally everything they own is in their vehicle.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. If you're riding with them and they have a wreck, you're going to get killed by flying debris, not the
Absolutely.
semi that
Yeah.
hit you.
They could run into a mosquito, but
Yeah.
you got killed by a sledgehammer and baling wire
and a
barbed
2-inch
wire.
socket set,
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
just, yeah.
Like, why are you carrying a 3/4 drive set in your minivan? Well, I changed a tire 5 years ago.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yep. And the bad part with that is they've all got multiple vehicles and they're never in the right one.
Absolutely
When
not.
they need that tool.
No.
Well, that's in the truck. You
Yeah.
know, not me. I got truck tools and they're all right there and I leave them in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, organization, boys. Not saying you got to be, you know, it's not like my shop's spotless and whatever, but everything's organized. You know where to get it.
Lucas keeps all his stuff in his saddlebags.
He does, yeah.
Yeah. When he's out on the range.
Exactly.
Yeah. Actually, I keep it in my compartments of my Honda Rancher.
There you go. Yeah.
Remember, I've never rode a horse, so
Tomorrow's your lucky day.
is it?
While Tony's at Long John's, we'll go check some fence
All right.
if you want to.
So what's everybody's plan after high school here? You guys got we're just going to call it a year for easy figuring. You're going to get, you guys are juniors now, so school will be over here in a couple months, and your senior year, and then where are we going after that? What's the plan?
Well, my plan is to, so far, things could change. My plan is to go into HVAC and eventually own and operate my own business.
Sweet.
That's the big dream.
Yep.
That's
Good plan.
what I'm
Always
aiming
going to need
for.
heat and air. Nothing
Yep.
wrong with that. Robert, where are you at?
So right out of high school, I'm going to go out west on the harvest crew like Dad did. I feel like that's an experience you got to have while you're young. And then immediately go out and weld on a pipeline or out in the ocean on them big oil rigs. I think that's like a cycle where you're 6 months on, 6 months off. And then rack up enough money and move back home and either farm or open my own welding shop and farm.
Sweet.
Yep. There you go. And always remember, boys, it ain't what you make, it's what you spend.
It's true.
Always remember that.
And it's not what you know, it's who you know.
There's a lot of that goes on too.
Networking is everything.
Yep. Yeah, and like I had always heard that term and thought, well, you know, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but after being on social media and once you get so big, like I promise you right now, if we got in the truck and took off and we're midway across Oklahoma, I could make a TikTok and say, boys, I got a flat tire, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Somebody would be there.
Absolutely.
Somebody would see it, and that's just the network deal. Like
You've never got a job from a poor guy, and you're more likely beat somebody out if you're both competing for the same job. If you know them and the other guy doesn't, you're going to get the job. Mm-hmm. As long as you're not an ass.
yeah.
Networking is very key.
Yep. 99% of the time.
Yeah.
And always remember, when you go into a job interview, especially if it's for like blue collar work, any good interviewer, the first thing he's going to look at is your hands.
Yeah.
Seriously, if you got little dishpan hands, your nails are all trimmed, I'm going to think, well, this guy's a pussy,
Yeah.
clearly.
He clearly hasn't been out on the range fixing fence.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at Nick and I's hands. They're beat up, scars, half bleeding. That's the guy I want. He's done something
I
today.
can barely move mine at this point. You can hire me. I can't do anything now because my hands are froze up, but I may have did something before.
Well, you can drive the four-wheeler while I fix fence.
There you go. There you go. Everybody needs a Jimmy.
Actually, no, you have horses. You can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I can. I'll get you out there.
But get some basic skills, read a tape measure. You know what I mean? Just simple stuff that a lot of people take for granted. Like,
Can we put tape measure reading on the ACT?
well, that's going to knock a lot of people out.
We get these people that get perfect scores from like bullshit. Guarantee you they can't read a tape measure. And
Right.
no, I'm not saying I'm the world's greatest at it.
No, I'm the same way. Like I can
I'm not
read
your dad
one.
when it comes to reading tape
Right.
measure.
When you look
But
at one 400 times, my dad owned his own construction business, built new houses, so he can read a tape measure like that. Where
I'm not gonna lie, I buy the ones with the fractions on them
oh,
because
do you?
it's easier.
I don't do that, but
Snap-on discontinued my favorite one. I've got one left, and
Yeah.
I guard it with my life. If you steal that from me, I'm hunting your ass down, Lucas. But I don't care if
You'll
you're using it to
find
measure
me on my-
fence. I will find you in your Honda Rancher out on the range, I will hunt you down. But yeah, there's just some decent little things like that. Like, yeah.
Can make your life a lot easier. I'm not saying you got to learn how to build a house. I don't know how to build a house. My dad was one of the best carpenters around. I don't know how to build a house.
I sure wish
I'm
I
not
could.
a carpenter.
I couldn't build a yard shed. Wish
Same.
I could.
Yep, I'm not a carpenter. Just never
me,
took
me
to it.
and me and wood don't get along.
No.
Now, if you want to weld it together, well, then I might be able to help you out.
Thankfully, I was raised with my dad being pretty handy with carpentry and
Yeah.
a lot of other stuff.
So you guys talk to a lot of kids, and I'm not directing this towards kids at your school or anywhere. I'm just saying, you guys know kids for miles around just nowadays with social media and whatnot. When it comes to boys your age, how many of them could either tear a motor down, or I'm not. I mean, maybe that's asking a little much, but I mean, would have some basic skills, but something
change
more
a
than
tire.
Yeah.
Can change it.
I mean, is there many? I mean, maybe Nick and I are selling it short. Like maybe we don't think anybody can, but actually there's a lot that can. I don't know.
I'm going to say very little.
Yeah, there's a few here and there that, me and Henry may not like them very much, but if I really needed something, I could rely on those kind of people. But there's very few that know that.
Yeah.
I mean, we were kind of raised in the early, well, we weren't raised during it, but, the motorcycle shows and this, that, and the other. And I'll never forget an episode with Jesse James on there. It's like, don't buy this shit. Read a book, watch a video, talk to somebody, figure out how to do it with your own hands. Even if it's not as nice as you want it to be, at least you did it.
Yeah.
And he's not wrong there. Like, I didn't know how to TIG weld, but I got a little drunk on eBay one night, bought a TIG welder, taught myself how to TIG weld. Now, I'm not saying I can weld like Jesse James, but I can TIG weld pretty good now. Mm-hmm. Like, it's my go-to deal. Like, I was just talking to a guy the other day. He's like, hey, I'm going to weld this up. How do you think I should do it? I'm like, well, I would TIG it. And he's like, well, I don't have one of those. I'm like, well, then you can make it. You'll get by. Well, can I stick weld it? I'm like, well, yeah, you can. It's going to spray shit all over your timing gears, but it'll hold. Stick weld's a fine weld, but it's just not going to look, not that anybody can see it, but I'm like, you're going to blow shit everywhere, but whatever, it'll hold, but like I said,
Some of the
some
part
of that
where
stuff, just figure it out.
Where I struggle with some of the younger kids nowadays is they don't know the terminology, and I suppose maybe at that age, maybe I didn't know terminology that my dad thought I should have, but like I knew
I saw your dad yell at you plenty enough. You didn't know shit.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, and I saw your dad do the same thing to you, so you didn't either.
I didn't know anything either.
Yeah. But like if you took a random kid out of high school right now at our local school, and let's just say the fan belt come off their car, and they were trying to explain what the problem was. Well, it goes around that top thing there, that one top pulley or whatever. It's like it's a fucking fan belt. It spins your fan. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
But they don't know the terminology.
No. But I think some of that comes from there's so many other options for kids now. Like when we were growing up, if you were having a party, if our parents were having a party, and so there was a revolving volleyball party that happened at our house, I don't know, once a month, once every month and a half, whatever. It moved from house to house. So the adults are talking this, that, and you're like, you never got to play. You never got to do, you got to pick up trash, et cetera, bring them another beer, whatever it was. But you also got to hear a lot of conversation. You didn't get school. You weren't off playing Nintendo or playing on your phone, whatever. Like you were just stuck there. Mm-hmm. And so you learned by osmosis, I suppose, from conversations that were happening around adults. Like now, like it doesn't pick your event. The kids try to squirrel off wherever when they should be listening, and the second you don't want them around, they're up your ass,
they go.
And then they won't listen. But they don't pick up a lot of that stuff that's going on, so on and so forth. I mean, back to a simple thing here. I remember one time a seed corn salesman come in the shop, selling my dad seed corn. I'm like, he left. I told my dad, I said, did I hear him right? Did he say seed corn was $100 a bag? Dad's like, yeah. I'm like, then why do we take, at that time, like 85 cents a bushel for it? He's like, welcome to farming. But I just picked that up from hearing the salesman say it was $100 a bag, and then I understood why my dad wanted me to get every damn kernel out of the bag.
Yeah.
Because when you're dumping them in, there's a couple left. Out of hell with it. But then you realize, well, it's like
he bought it for $100 a bushel. Now he's getting 85 cents a bushel.
10 cents a seed, so you don't want to spill any or just waste it. But all that's went by the wayside because they're off doing this, doing that, so on and so forth.
Yeah, it's definitely changed. Like, we never hung around our parents at parties or whatever because you didn't do that. You weren't supposed to. Now, Saturday morning coffee, dad, grandpa, whoever, now that you were good to go on.
Yeah.
Like,
Just sit there and be quiet.
Exactly.
Kids were meant to be seen and not heard.
Yep.
If I had a nickel for every time I heard that, I could buy my own damn coffee.
exactly.
Yeah. Seen and not heard. Yeah. Not allowed to talk. You just sit there and listen.
Yeah.
But you get too far, and somebody who's going to get the refill.
Exactly.
So you couldn't get too far away, you know.
Yeah.
I remember years ago, Dad was putting on anhydrous. Of course, there wasn't no room in those cabs. So he'd take me to the fields. Like, hey, I'm going to put anhydrous in this farm. Here's a BB gun. Go play in the creek. But if you see me about to get done and need another tank, your ass better be able to help me hook up. Okay, no problem. You know. So you're trying to jack around this creek, but you got to keep an eye out because in a minute he's going to be out of anhydrous. You know, of course back then didn't hold shit. You couldn't go very far. It took all day to do 40 acres anyway. You know, so your legs are tired anyway. Like, goddamn, is he ever going to get done? You know, back and forth, whatever. But it's not really that way now. You know,
I was so obsessed with farming from the time I can remember till even, which I guess now that I'm older, I'm not as obsessed with it like I used to be. But like, you know, when I was a kid, I mean, that was all I ate, slept, and drank. And it wouldn't have mattered. Back then, you know, Michael Jordan was the big star, you know. I promise you, if you would have told me I will give you tickets to go to a Bulls game, you can meet Michael Jordan after the game, you can go hang out at his house afterwards, or you can sit with your grandpa on that 40-10. I'd have took the fender of that 40-10 every day of the fucking week. I just ate up with it. But I don't know, you just...
Yeah, it ain't that way anymore for most people.
No. And
now, if you could put Michael Jordan on a 40-10, that's where you've got the whole world covered, Bob. You get Michael Jordan on a 40-10. Of course, he's going to be sitting about 6 foot above the fenders. He can't reach the puzzle shifter. But if he would run a 40-10, that's the end-all be-all.
Or a 1066 or 1466.
Well, that'd been way better.
It would have been way better.
But I honestly, hand to the Bible, I would have. Like, that shit just didn't interest me.
That was you. Yeah. Yeah, I won't disagree there.
And as I've got older, I'm not near as ate up about it, I guess, just because I see the way it's going, and it's disappointing to see the end of it, you know, the writing on the wall that, and I'm not going to go down the path of whatever, but I mean, you know, it's just not a good spot, and it ain't going to change, so.
No.
I don't know. But you guys need to find out what you want to do in life and run with it. And I honestly think you guys could be millionaires by the time you're in your mid-40s if you put your head down and go.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's a good chance you're going to have to be a millionaire to fucking survive.
No shit.
But,
and I will say, you want to try to do everything you can to be in a pretty good spot by the time you're 40, because by the time you're 45, your whole body hurts, and you don't want to go do a whole bunch of this shit.
Yep. And always remember when you're young, let's just say that 3 years from now, you're out of high school, you've made some money, and 40 acres right down the road here comes up for sale. It's got a house on it. You get a chance to buy it, and you're like, they want $800,000 for it. You're young enough, just buy it. You got time to pay for it. I don't have time to pay for that stuff at my age now. And I've got stuff to lose now. I don't want to lose it. You have nothing to lose at that age.
Yeah.
Try it. If it don't work, then tell the bank, well, come get your fucking 40 acres. It didn't work. I mean, start over.
Sorry about your luck.
Yeah. But I don't mean to make it sound like I'm old, because I'm not. But I mean, I've got a lot of shit that I don't want to lose now, so I'm not going to jeopardize it. You know. But you got to find your own way, and you'll find it.
Yeah.
And it's easy to sit here now and say you want to be a welder, you want to do HVAC, and that's totally fine. Have a dream, but don't be surprised if that plan changes. It could.
But I will say, find something you're passionate about, because that's rare anymore.
It is.
You know, there's 1,000 things I enjoy, but nothing that I'm so passionate about. Well, that's not true. There are a few things, but like work-related stuff. Like, I still like what I do. I still like working on this, that, and the other. I still like to ride four-wheelers, like to ride horses, this, whatever. But to be all in on something, like to the Kobe Bryant level of obsessed with it, I don't have that thing anymore.
No.
You know, like outside of my wife and God and my kids, like I don't really have that thing. You know, you want to change a tire tomorrow? Yeah, we can do that. You want to overhaul something? Sure, we can do that. You want to ride a four-wheeler tomorrow? We can't ride Bob's because he's fucked it up, but you know, you want to take a 1066 down the road and throw the torque forward and get an erection because that's super cool? Sure, we can do that too. But I'm not super as passionate about that as I used to be.
Find something you love doing for less money than something that you don't care about for more money.
Yeah.
I've seen more people that chase money because this pays way more, and it literally gives them a nervous breakdown because they hate it so bad, but they can't quit now because we're making too much money. That's you can't spend all your life making money, and then at the end of your life, you spend all your money trying to get your life back.
Yeah,
that's
it doesn't work.
pure stupidity. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Because once again, it's all about what you save, not what you make.
Yeah.
I know guys that make 50 grand a year that live like millionaires, and I know people that make 200 grand a year that ain't got two nickels rubbed together.
That's true. And then we know guys that don't make anything that are the happiest people we know.
Absolutely. And maybe they've got it figured out. I don't know.
Yeah. Like you got to find a spot in there where you fit and go on from there. Some of the happiest people I know ain't got shit.
Oh, agreed. Got an uncle that's that way.
Yeah.
And he has never had, I'm 46 years old, and he's a damn sight older than I am, and as long as I have been alive, the guy has never had two nickels to rub together. Yeah. But he's always somehow got money for beer, and he's not some welfare guy that just lays around.
He works just enough to buy some cold beer. And
yep. If we went to the bar right now, if he ain't been banned or barred, he would be there.
Yeah.
I promise you.
I see him here and there, and he's having a great time every time I see him. Like,
yep.
He doesn't care. Ain't his deal. That's a level that I really can't be on.
Yeah, I'm not willing to take it to that extreme.
But he's not dying from stress.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, he might die from his lifestyle,
yeah,
but he
cirrhosis or whatever. But
he ain't dying from stress.
By now, he's getting pretty good age. That's really not going to. I mean, if it gets him now, what's the big deal?
Yeah, if it gets him now, 1,000 things get him now. You know,
exactly.
Yeah,
he's had a hell of a run. I mean, but yeah, don't chase the almighty dollar on everything. And it's easy to.
I mean, you got to have money, but damn.
Yeah, and all these guys are going to give you this advice, and it's easy to sit here and drink a beer and say, oh, you know, marry some gal with money or marry the plat book, whatever. And I'm not saying in theory that doesn't work. I know guys that have done that, but I wouldn't trade places with them.
No.
I mean, my wife didn't have two nickels rubbed together when we got married. I mean, she had nothing. They grew up dirt poor. I mean, dirt poor. Wouldn't trade it for nothing. But to each their own on that, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Find your way. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. Pray on it. Hard work will still get you somewhere, at least for a while, until you figure out what politicians' hands you got to grease and what government contract you got to get. But until then, just hard work will be fine.
Yeah,
you guys are lucky enough in the fact that literally hard work, you got no competition.
Yeah, you have none.
I mean, not that everybody was ass kicking back when we were your age, but there was way more people working hard back then than there is now.
Yep.
Now people were fighting for jobs at McDonald's back then. Now they'll pay you daily if you just show up, you know. I've looked behind the counter. They're not busting a whole lot of ass, you know.
Yeah, I mean, literally when you could go to any local McDonald's and make $20 an hour starting out. Mm-hmm. Don't begrudge them people. I mean, I don't blame them.
No. Would be nice if they do their job in a timely manner, but hey, whatever.
But yeah, don't get in a rut, though, that I'm bound to determine I'm going to be a welder. Now, if that's what you're passionate about and absolutely want to do, that's one thing. But don't just say, well, I've looked into this and it sounds fun. And
the other thing about the trades that you always have to think about, in my opinion, is, okay, doing that trade is neat for a while. But then you have to own a business that does that trade that you manage, because you're going to age out of being able to do that trade.
Yeah.
Any of your blue collar jobs, and I don't care what they are, eventually you get too old to do it. You get too old to turn wrenches. You get too old to weld. You can do it a little bit. You can advise somebody, hey, here's how this project's going to get done. But you won't be the guy laying upside down in a puddle of water.
That's what I've told Bob.
Welding a
Yeah.
a spot on a gravity wagon so it doesn't leak grain. Like, you don't want to be doing that when you're 60 years old.
That's what I've told Bob. It's easy to stand here in the shop and weld, and he does a good job welding, does a lot of it. But go out to Wyoming when it's 30 below out and lay in water and weld on a pipeline and see if that's fun. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
75-year-old guys doing that.
Yeah.
You know, if they are, they didn't want to be there, you know. By then you want to retire, just be a rancher with Lucas, just riding the Ranger.
Get you a nice vest.
Yeah, get you a vest and just cruise around and watch the cattle grow.
You want to try to find something that'll make you money even while you're sleeping.
Yeah, passive income. I don't have any of it, but I've heard about it. It seems like a good plan.
Yeah, the guys that got it really knocking down the park.
What you're looking for is car washes.
Yeah.
We can launder and it's passive.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Well, I think now I'm assuming you're referring to McBee's.
No.
You're not?
No, I was just saying in general.
No.
Yeah.
Well, It seemed pretty directed with the car wash thing.
No, I just think that would be something that generates money while you're not there, right? Like people wash their cars all day long while you're not standing there. Coincidentally, they do have some, whatever the case may be.
And a little bit of the money laundering.
Well, yeah.
Well, that was insurance fraud.
Yeah,
That was just plain-
that's a totally different
There's a
deal.
difference between laundering, which is washing it and making it go back out, versus just flat stealing it.
Yeah.
So-
Tomato, you know.
but whatever. I don't care about them guys who don't farm next to them. Couldn't care less.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. No, my comment had nothing to do with them, but I could see where you could draw that conclusion.
That's where my head went.
Well, I understand that, yeah. I honestly haven't seen any of their shit. I've heard about some of that, but I don't see any of their shit, so it doesn't matter to me.
Well,
Are you wanting to go ranch for them? Is that what you're getting at?
they want to ranch for me.
I gotcha.
There you go. There you go.
Yes, sir. But yeah, you got to find your way and just see where life takes you.
And things are going to change so much with AI and all this shit coming in. Some of the jobs that were good jobs. I mean, when Tony and I were kids, the best job around here locally was a printing company,
Yeah, printing magazines.
printing magazines. Not much of a thing these days. Turns out print media's kind of went away. So, and AI is going to kick a bunch of those in the ass too, not print media, but just jobs in general.
Unlike Bob with welding, I mean, there's always something to be welded, whether it's wherever. But if you get like you said, the oil platforms, and that's all good, great, grand. We're probably always going to pump oil, but there can always be times when oil gets cheap enough. Hey, we're going to shut down a few rigs, or you can hit hiccups. So don't get in your mind that you're just going to make $200,000 a year for 20 years. Like, if it was that easy, everybody'd be doing it. That's the way you got to look at a lot of things.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, always keep that in mind. It always looks easy from the outside, and everybody always wants to knock the business owner, because, he took his whole family to Florida for 3 weeks or whatever. Well, yeah, but he's also the guy that got $3 million invested here.
Yeah.
He took the midnight phone call, and he
He
done
also
this.
took the risk, and he's responsible for the bank note and all the shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the guy at the top of the food chain should be able to do that.
Sure, I
If
agree.
he can't, then we got a whole other problem we need to talk about.
Yep.
Working fast food really shouldn't be able to afford you
That's not a career.
a family of 6 to go on vacation every year.
Now, if you wanted to be a McDonald's manager and manage
For sure.
2 stores, 3 stores, some of them people make really good money.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
But
Nothing at all.
your everyday guy shoving a burger through the window, not that that's, don't look down on
It's a
them.
necessary job.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily
You don't
a
see
long-term
70-year-old people doing that very often. Not that you never would, but
yeah.
that's for a reason.
If you do, it's not by their choice.
Yep.
Yeah.
But always remember, if something was that easy and you could make that much money that fast, everybody would be doing it. Don't fall into some trap that you're going to get rich overnight, because at the end of the day, literally, unless you win the lottery or marry into it, you generally do not get rich overnight. You just don't.
That's true.
If there was a way to do it, we'd all be doing it.
Yeah.
So always remember that.
But also remember that you can look around your entire school or your entire dating platform, and sometimes you can make more money with that decision than you can make the rest of your life working with your hands. It's just as easy to love a rich girl as a poor one. Tony and I both tried to love poor ones, and it's going okay. But loving a rich one probably would have been easier. From what I'm told. From my buddies that did it, it looks like it's going pretty well.
Yeah. Just depends on if you're willing to move or not, I guess.
Yeah,
I was wanting to
that's
stay
true.
here, so
That's true.
that really
Yeah.
narrowed the
That
field down.
That narrows it down fast.
Then you got to throw out the relation, and then now you're getting even.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Can't marry your cousin. We're not from T-Town. So,
yeah.
yeah. That thins the herd too.
So do you guys have backup plans? Let's just say Bob's set on welding, and welding school closes, and so now what are we going to do?
I hope to find someone close to Illinois, so I can still be near family, to rent me a few thousand acres, something I can get by with and just live on. Nothing too big. I don't want to be some farmer farming 5,000 acres, just enough to live on.
Yeah, 500 or 1,000 acres or whatever. Yeah, that's nothing wrong with that.
No, fair plan.
Dream big. Yeah, I mean, could happen. Some people may laugh. I mean, that's fine. It can be done. Yeah, absolutely can be done. But it takes a hell of a lot of money to farm nowadays. That's the one thing you got to keep in mind. But it can still be done if you're willing to not run 5 new quad tracks and you know,
Where farming's at now, it's a lot of money in, a lot of money out.
it is.
You know,
it's a big game.
If you'd have told me when I was his age that it would cost me this much to put a crop out, yikes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a big number to me now. Doesn't scare me as much now, but back then I'd have ran for the hills. Like,
Yeah.
now I'm out, you know. Now, by the same token, a lot of money coming the other way too.
For sure. Yeah.
But that works out great if there's, margin in the middle, which currently there isn't, but there
Right.
has been years where it's been okay.
I will admit this has flushed a lot of people out around here that I did never think would retire this soon. I mean, there's been some of that go on. Not saying it would continue to go on, but there was a few guys that I thought, man, I'm kind of surprised they hung it up like that. But I don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same page of here the past few years, being 16, able to work. I've gotten a lot more involved in farming than I ever thought I would have, because before I didn't grow up into it, so it wasn't my thing. But now that I've been into it a lot more, I could see it as a backup plan to get in, whether it's being a farm hand or a seed salesman or just something being involved in agriculture.
I will tell you this from experience, from people I know, from whatever else. There's nothing wrong with being a farmhand. I'm not knocking any farmhand, but you don't want to be a farmhand. I'm just telling you, don't go down that path. You're going to make somebody a lot of money that's going to sit in a King Ranch truck and micromanage you and tell you that you're not doing this right. And they're going to tell you that you're making good money because we're paying you $35,000 a year, while he's making $135,000 a year just off the government subsidies and not everything else. Don't be a farmhand as a career. If you want to do it for a few years, whatever else, I'm not knocking farmhands, but I'm just telling you right now, do not do that long term. You'll regret it.
The other thing you have to factor in here is benefits.
Yep.
And that was a big deal when we were growing up, but it's a huge deal now.
Absolutely.
Insurance is monumental, and to the point you can't even hardly put a price on it. Like,
right.
Now you look at some of these jobs that have great benefits that don't pay shit. It's like, well, that's a way better gig than what I got.
Right.
Because the benefits cost more than the salary does.
Yep. Yep.
So factor that in.
And you got to
a lot of
remember,
that stuff doesn't come with retirement. It doesn't come with insurance. It doesn't come with this, that, or the other. That is a huge, big deal, especially when you're starting to get Tony and I's age and your buddies are getting ready to retire at 52. And you're like, oh, shit. Well, I can't even begin to even fathom that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's not even on my radar.
No.
For the simple fact that I can't afford it.
No. No. I'm going to work till I die or die sooner.
But yeah, you always want a backup plan. But yeah, I don't know. You just always got to have an out. I mean, you never know when things can go south.
Know.
I mean,
yeah.
Eventually, it wouldn't matter if Nick's son come to work with him. Eventually, that gets phased out a little bit just as machinery progresses. Nobody's going to run this older shit forever.
Not forever.
By the time he's 50,
Yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't work that way. But
No. And there was a time in my life where I was down to work on the newer stuff. Mm-hmm. Well, now I'm to the point in my life, a few small line 1066s up for torques and clutches and overhauls, I'll just do that. I don't really need to get a laptop. I mean, I do, but I just soon work on the old shit.
Yeah. But you guys are going to see a lot of change. You're probably going to see more change than we have, and we've seen a shitload.
Yeah, you'll see. You guys will see a ton.
And I don't know if that's going to be good or bad. Some will be good, some won't be good. But I don't know. You can't be like some of these guys that we seen too in the late '90s and this and that as things were starting to progress. Well, I'm not doing that. And they didn't change, and then it ended up costing them. You can't do that either. But you can't be on every new trend that's coming around either. You got to, once again, where the most margin is, split the middle.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
I think the way it's heading is kind of taken away. I feel like there won't be as many people wanting to get into it from like the way me and Henry have seen it, or you guys have seen it, of being actually out in the field and running, maybe a tractor that you grew up on or something. And
Well, it's something you have to grow up with for the most part. And we have less of those people every day. And can I teach a random 18-year-old the basics of farming? Sure. But the little nuances, this, that, and the other, if you didn't grow up with it, that's hard to teach. That's hard to know.
Yeah.
And just for the love of the game, that's...
You guys know how it is. Neither one of you guys, I don't think, have ever ran a planter, have you? To my knowledge. I mean, on any, planted several acres. Wouldn't matter right now. My stuff's in good shape. I could take you guys to the field right now. We could sit there for 3 hours. You guys could ride with me. Everything would go good. And as soon as I said, you know what, I'm going to get in the truck and go home. I've told you everything that could go wrong with this.
Yeah.
I'm going to get in the truck and go home, and I won't even get home, and you're going to call me, well, this happened.
Absolutely.
And it's something random that neither one of you have seen, not because it's your fault, but...
I'm 46 years old. I've planted corn twice.
Really?
I've planted a lot of beans. I've planted corn twice.
Yep.
I just never, Dad was planting. He took over the corn planting. Eventually, I took over bean planting. Kind of when no-till drills and stuff came out, like I went that direction, and that's just the way it's been for forever. I'm not saying I can't plant corn. I'm not saying I couldn't figure it out. I don't plant corn.
Yep.
My brother, I work ground in front of him. He starts planting corn. I work more ground. I go to plant beans. That's just the way it is,
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a lot of operations like that. I know.
My grandpa on my mom's side never planted corn with a tractor. By the time tractors came around, his son did it.
No kidding.
He never did it. On the flip side of that, one of my dad's good friends never planted corn because his dad always did it. And you know him too. He never planted corn until his dad died. And by then he was 67 years old the first time he planted corn.
Yeah.
Because his dad had done it the whole time.
I remember that years and years ago around here, there was two brothers farming together, and one of them died suddenly. And the other brother, he wasn't a dummy by any means, but there was just a lot of, he'd never ran a planter. He was just kind of the tillage guy. They had two combines, so they each ran a combine, knew how to do that. But as far as row crop planting, he'd never done it. I mean, he figured it right out like it wasn't no issue, but I mean, he just never done it.
Never had, at some point in time, like you're almost better to specialize in some of that. Like my brother had to run, it's been a few years back now. The neighbor needed something planted. I was super busy in the shop. My brother had the time. He needed to run the bean planter, so I had to talk him through all of it. And it was several phone calls, and I had to drive out there once, so on and so forth, because he hadn't planted beans with that particular setup ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, he planted beans in his life, but not with that setup. Just different shit on the monitor, whatever, blah, 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 chilling at you about something. I would be the same way if I hopped in the corn planter today.
Sure.
But we both kind of picked our paths, whatever,
I know you and I talked about this long time ago. I don't know if we ever talked on the podcast, but like here at my house, there's like 12 acres tillable out here. It ain't nothing. That's just what's tillable. And I had joked maybe about the time I got that 4010 restored, I said, if I had any sense, I would get a line of small machinery for that tractor and just tell Henry to farm it.
Yeah.
Big deal. You fuck it up, it's 12 acres.
Yeah.
We own it. It ain't, nobody's going to cuss. But you would at least learn how to, just get a little 6-row, 7,000 planter. Just whatever. Learn how to do that shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a bad plan, actually.
Yep. But we're all wired that way. Everything's a big race, as soon as farming start, nobody wants to take time to do it. But I mean,
no doubt.
If you had any sense, though, you would do that and just figure it out. You fuck it up, you'll know next year not to do that. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. And it's funny now to see stuff come back around. Like I bought a little bitty disc at an auction there a year or two ago, just a little bitty 3.1. My nephew was just wound up like an 8-day clock because he was looking at his, for deer plots, this, that, and the other. I was looking at it for quail strips and my garden, whatever. But I'm like, it wasn't that many years prior to me starting farming where that would have been like something people would have used.
Sure.
For actual making a living.
Right.
We just bought to screw around with.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it seemed like all the stuff we ran as kids, there was always little quirks about something that you had to learn. That specific
Absolutely.
tractor had, you couldn't do this, or if this happened, you had to do this to fix it, or whatever. And with all this newer stuff nowadays that a lot of kids grow up on, they're just there ain't that many quirks. It either works or it doesn't. It's some electronic or whatever. And
yeah, you want to hop my old 7.3? Well, the left turn signal works, but you got to shut off by hand. It doesn't auto reset anymore.
Exactly.
But it doesn't even faze me anymore. Like I just naturally flick it and it's fine. I've never taken the time to fix it because nobody drives it but me. So it doesn't matter, But you just can't put any Joe Schmo in that. I can't send my daughter to town in that,
Yep.
Just little things like that. Every tractor has its deal back then. And you got to know, well, if you idle it below this, when the hot rocks aren't as good as they could be, just a lot of little stuff there.
Yeah.
But nobody has a feel for anything anymore either.
I know. That's just it.
I'm not saying we were great at it, but our dads yelled at us enough that we became great at it. But, you know, you start pulling 2 400 bushel wagons out of the mud with an 806, you learn how to shift on the fly.
Yep.
On a manual transmission that you're going to figure it out or you're going to be stuck.
Yep.
And you're getting asked you in for that. So you learn how to slip the clutch. You learn how to do all this stuff, packing silage. You learn how to crawl a hill, this, that, and the other. And now nobody can do that because they've never had to do it.
I'll probably hit the door back in this tractor out tomorrow, but I was always super good about having the feel of the width of what I was pulling.
Yeah.
Like if I had to squeeze between 2 vehicles, a tree, a shed, or whatever, I never hit nothing because for whatever reason I got like this internal feel that I know how wide, I know if I can make it or not, you know?
Yeah.
And some people just hit shit. And
I'm the first person in my family since my family got off the Mayflower that has full neck mobility where I can look around behind me. Near as I can tell, because my dad couldn't do it. My grandpa damn sure didn't do it. And my brother probably could, but he refuses. So I'm the first one that can actually see behind me. Now I'll probably back into something leaving your house tonight.
Right.
But it's not for lack of neck mobility.
Exactly.
Which, near as I can tell, was not a thing in my family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And I will admit, the older I get, the more I do slip. I don't see as good. I don't hear as good. You know,
The vision thing irritates the shit out of me.
well, and farming don't take as long either now. You
No.
know, it's in and out. You know, when we were kids, you got on a tractor in May and you were just there for the month of May.
You were on this farm forever.
Yeah.
You know, now I'm what am I going to do? You know, I'm going to get another farm done before lunch. You know, when I was a kid, you were there all day.
Yeah.
You know?
The fall took forever. I mean, every ripper
my
in the
God.
county was as wide as the tractor was. However wide the
Absolutely.
tractor was how wide the ripper
Yeah.
was.
You got a 10 or a 14 with duals pulling a 7 or 9 shank chisel plow. Our parents send us out there. Oh yeah, just chisel. That'll come get you eventually. All right. We had no way to let them know if we were done. Had no let them know if we had trouble. You're just out there in a Carhartt coat before Carhartt was cool, freezing your ass off. Eventually you get off and stand next to the engine to warm up or whatever, take a piss, whatever it was, hop back on at a whopping 4 mile an hour, spinning the whole way through the field.
Yep.
You know, it's 10 o'clock at night. You got halogen lights finally. Oh, man, we are cutting a fat hog in the ass now.
It was like Wrigley Field, man.
Yeah,
We got
yeah.
lights for the first
There's
time.
2 Bic lighters shining in the wind. And you're just going back and forth, slow and steady.
But, you know, back then, even when I was 16, you know, running around vehicles, whatnot, still didn't have cell phones in, never ever got stranded anywhere for any amount of time ever. Somebody always come by, or if you were farming, had trouble, somebody always.
I mean, the few times we got in a bind in a pickup truck, hop on the old CB.
Yep.
Somebody come get you, you
Yep.
know. Find somebody that's going to answer your call on the CB now. Good freaking luck, you know.
Exactly. Yep.
I get bailed out twice, big time on CB radios. Yeah. Go off in a snowdrift, hop on the CB.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys would have enjoyed growing up back then. It was fun. There was always something going on. Nobody was having to text to know there was going to be 500 people here. You just went
We didn't
there.
have to know your Snapchat location.
No.
We just met uptown, and it escalated from there.
Yep. That it
We
did.
weren't praying there. We moved.
And looking back
someplace else.
now, it's like, how did word travel? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because we're so accustomed to
We
today.
put no effort into it.
No.
These guys here, by the time they get the party planned, it's time to go home.
Yeah.
We went uptown. We're like, hey, dirt road. Nothing else is going on. Go to the dirt road. We're going to light a fire. Party.
Yep.
30 seconds. Bang. Done. These guys plan for weeks and weeks and weeks on end, and they go to school all week long, and they still don't know what's going on by Friday. By Friday, we knew what was going on.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
If there's nothing going on, then we started a random party, you know? Yeah, that's unfortunate for you guys. I feel bad for you.
It was fun, though, how fast word spread by just word of mouth and nothing pre-planned.
One of these days when your dad and I don't have anything going on, we're going to kick it old school, and we're going to show you guys how it used to be done.
Yep.
We're going to get all our buddies. We're going to all sit uptown for 30 minutes, and we're going to go out and have a dirt road party, whatever it is, and show you guys how it used to happen.
Yep. I don't think half these kids could go 30 minutes without their cell phone.
Absolutely
If we
not.
called 50 kids now and said, put your phones in a toolbox and we're going to lock the toolbox, they would melt down. I don't think they could do it.
I got some bored the other day. I started breaking out CDs.
Yeah, exactly.
I only found about 3 of them that'll still play because there's a scratch that they won't play. But I'm like,
Yeah.
the hell with streaming it. I'm gonna CD it.
So let me ask you kids this. I know you've got an earbud in a lot of times, whether you're working here, listening to music, whatever. I could not tell you the last time I physically turned on a radio in any vehicle on this property, tractor, combine, pickup truck, car, whatever. And same way with farming. I just want to hear the machine. I don't want to hear, I'll tell you, everybody, I'll tell the listeners right now, I don't listen to podcasts. I don't listen to music. I don't listen to nothing. Ever.
Which I heard that on the trip to Louisville. It was just a dead silent ride the whole time. Yeah.
Exactly. When I'm working here in the shop, I've always got the TV on here for background noise. It's usually on some sort of weather, whether it's the Weather Channel, AccuWeather, Fox Weather, whatever, just for background noise. But I don't listen.
Back that up with the fact that he knows more 90s countries than anybody I've ever seen in my life and can identify it quickly because he used to listen to the radio.
I did a lot. Yep. Especially in a combine, you will never hear radio on the combine. I don't know why. I mean,
I'm the same way. I don't turn it on much anymore.
But I'll sit all day in total silence. Never.
Which now with the emissions and stuff, machinery don't really sound that good to listen to.
No, but I will tell you this much, though. I don't care if you put me in something brand new or something 50 years old. I will tell you the minute that thing makes the least little bit of a different noise, whether it's in the hydraulics, the motor, PTO, whatever, and I suppose that's because not listening to the radio, but I can tell you the minute that thing sounds different.
I can tell you as a mechanic, if you call me to come pick your tractor up and when I hop in, the radio is cranked to the moon, I know immediately what the problem is. You have the radio cranked to the moon, you hear the axle bearing going out 3 years ago. But I don't listen to shit anymore.
So do you guys listen to...
When I'm farming, like working ground, running the combine, any of that stuff, I don't really. But like if I'm wrenching or something, I do like to throw an earbud in because just music makes work a little bit more fun.
Yeah, in the shop, totally fine, where you're not having to listen for a bearing out or whatever. That's totally different. But as far as when the machine's moving, you will very seldom ever catch a radio on with me, ever.
To be honest, like farming, if the radio's cranked too high for me, it's like I can't concentrate. Like I just can't do it. I got to turn it down, just dead silence. It's just easier for me to focus and do whatever.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like I kind of go in spurts. If it's getting later and it's been longer hours, if I haven't been listening to the radio, maybe I'll turn it on to keep me awake and busy. But it's also when you're sitting in the cab for that long and you have the radio cranked, you just get a headache and feel even worse than before.
I get in go mode. I will tell you this, a 9770 John Deere combine, if you don't get out of the seat after 12 hours, an alarm will go off and it'll shut the head off. Like I don't stop to piss or nothing. That's a fact. I promise you it will shut the machine down after 12 hours.
Can confirm when I was younger, I used to have to get on the combine while it was moving.
He did.
Yeah, I believe that. It depends on what I'm doing. It depends on the time of day. If I'm working on a pulling tractor late or whatever it is late, I might eventually crank the stereo up just to I don't know, pump you up a little bit, stay alert, whatever, so on and so forth, whatever it is. But through the day, not really. If I do turn it on, guarantee. I mean, I always have a radio on at the shop at varying volumes depending on what's going on. You know, today the weather was sketchy, so we turned it up to hear the warnings or whatever. But I can drive 1,000 miles with essentially in silence at some point in time. But I do, by the same token, I love to talk on the phone, so I'll usually call people. Oh, I can't find anything. It's oh shit. Okay, well, I might turn it on.
That's where I'm fucked. I hate to talk on the phone. I just soon take a fucking beat and just talk on the phone.
That's literally all I do now.
I'm not a phone talker. But I do, if I'm here in the shop, I have to have background noise. If you come in here and it's dead silent and I'm working on something, something's wrong.
If my wife and kids are gone, I'll have the TV on, might have a video game on, might have the radio on, might be talking on the phone all at the same time. Who knows? Could go any combination of many different ways. In that situation, silence kills me.
And to go to sleep, I have to have noise. Went to Yellowstone years ago. All the hotels inside the park, no TVs in any of the rooms because it's all primitive and blah, blah, blah. Well, I have to fall asleep with TV on. Like if you put me in a room that is dead silent and say fall asleep, we just won't get up and go do something because I'm not falling asleep. I have to have noise to fall asleep.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yep. So what have you guys learned tonight? Anything good? Have we pretty much told you that
we told you that life's going to be rough and there's no way around it. Yeah.
Yeah, that it is.
Yeah. I don't know. Not questioning too much, but definitely giving.
We probably should. We're not maybe the best life examples.
if you can't marry into it and you can't come up with it on your own, the best thing you can do is be a people person, be a politician, get in office, make money hand over fist. Then you appoint all your buddies to be your aides and your staff, and
That's true.
all these big cushy jobs. And you all just rake it in, and then you just.
I really thought I'd have a cabinet position with this Tony Reed for president bullshit, but it hadn't really worked out.
Yeah,
but,
I've kind of swore
we
off.
still have time.
I've swore off politics. I mean, I can't expect people to vote for me when I don't vote myself. So
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not looking to be voted. I'm looking to be supreme dictator, because that's how you get shit done. I don't really want anybody else's opinion on it. You know, from what I've seen from Congress, their opinion is not worth a hell of a lot. So.
yeah. My entire cabinet would most likely be mafia, because mafia gets shit done.
That's
they
true.
get results. So,
Pretty quickly.
Or I would even probably hire some of the Mexican drug cartels. Like they don't take no for an answer. So that's what we're going to do this week. And I guess if we don't get it done, then something's going to happen. They're very effective.
Yeah. Maybe you can get a job welding the fence up, Bob.
Yeah, for Lucas.
There you go. Absolutely.
Yep. Life ain't all bad.
No, it's pretty good when you get down to it, but it has its days.
Well, Bob, if you really want a job, you need to start making straw hats. Invest.
Why, for all your ranch hands?
Yeah. You can sponsor me.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yellowstone Bierman Ranch.
There you go.
I mean, you would think with a kid with last name Bierman, like
Yeah.
that just screams alcoholic. Like you're not going to amount to nothing. But I mean, that's his last name, Bierman. For the listeners, his last name is Bierman.
Yeah.
Beerman.
It does originate from Germany. It's
Shocker.
B-I-E-R is
I am perplexed by that. Yeah.
yeah. B-I-E-R is
It's a little
German for
far
beer,
across the
so-
river to be over here, but I mean, we'll let it slide.
Probably ain't no Catholics in your family, I wouldn't guess. And silence fills the air.
Yes, absolutely. Back to the no radio on. We're just sitting here in silence.
Yep. So what do you guys want to talk about? Anything you guys want to ask us?
Yeah. Any questions?
Not really.
Nothing?
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
We've heard it all pretty much just sitting around you two.
Yeah.
I know your question is, how can my beer still be froze? Because it hasn't froze for a while. I don't know either. But that one was froze.
I was kind of wondering that
That
earlier.
one
If
was
you stuck
froze
it in
to
the freezer
shit.
or something. I was
No,
a
I
little
did
confused.
not. I did not. I pulled it out of my fridge.
And for the record, for the listeners, honest to God, hand of the Bible, the boys ain't drinking
No,
me
they're
in
not.
that car.
No, yeah. But that beer was froze. Yes. Ice cold.
I seen earlier you had a little spill. I didn't know it was.
No, that one was froze even worse. I don't know how that happened. Well, I know
so
how
I'll
that
ask you. So like, you'd never been around Charlie Trucker and them guys. So like, what'd you think of that whole fiasco?
I think they're a really fun group. It's definitely different in the aspect of I've been around you quite a bit without seeing how really people treat you whenever you get around your followers and whatnot. So it was like I was kind of a follower of them, so I didn't really know who they were. So when I got around them, I was like, well, hell, these people are about just same as Tony, just regular guys that everyone kind of follows.
The funny part was my TikTok got big fast, and like nobody local really knew it at the time. So all this shit was going on, and they were all laughing and kind of poking fun and whatever. I don't know. I didn't hear. Nick probably heard way more than I did.
I did. And I stood up for Tony on during that time. Let the record show.
Yep.
But yeah, it was Tony TikTok, and it was there were some comments being made, and then they all showed up at the bar, and then those guys were all these guys that we like are here. How'd they get here? Well, because they like Tony and they showed up. Yeah.
Yep. But like nobody around here has a clue. Like Nick's seen it, and it ain't been bad in the last couple of years, but when it really started getting big a few years ago, when there was a 100-foot line for just hours on end, and people wanting to shake your hand. I'm not bragging, but like nobody here knows that or sees that. I think it's funny. Like they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it just.
It's just weird for me to see, like, at the Farb show, all the people coming up to you, so excited to meet you, and it's like, well, hell, I got something wrong with my car. I'm going to call up Henry and see if I can use Tony's shop, and Tony will be sitting right there. It's like, it's weird
we don't
for me
think
to
that
see.
about it.
Yeah. To me, you're just
And to
a
me, I'm
local
nothing.
guy. Like,
Do you guys find it odd? Because I get this from my son a little bit. Like, that's not even the right way to put it, but like how Tony or myself interacts with people that we may or may not know, or just crowds, this, that, and the other. Like, he just finds it a little bit weird. It's like, well, you just walk into a room and then there's people and then they say something and you just talk to them and it's fine. And next thing you know, you guys are laughing and so on and so forth. Like, I don't find it odd at all. Tony doesn't find it odd, but I feel like you guys are enough removed from pre-social media and pre-cell phones that like that is a little bit of a thing. Do you find it that way or no?
Yeah, I mean, I am
And you guys might be the anomaly of that, because like these two will actually talk to adults. Like
That's true. That's true.
where a lot of the kids, they just, it's a
But
yes
you
or
go
no.
2 or 3 grades down from them
Oh yeah, they're not going to.
and take them out of this environment where they haven't been here regular and they just see this happening and they're just mesmerized a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, my son was last week, we can go to Effingham to a restaurant or wherever, like, and somebody will say, hey, you know, whatever. And he's like, everywhere you go, you know somebody. I'm like, that's the key to life. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't.
You
I
gotta
don't.
know
I don't.
people.
I don't. I'm perfectly fine with pretty much going up to about anybody and talking to them.
well, as a
Henry's
big
the-
rancher, I would understand you have to say the beef, and that's a big deal. That makes sense.
I know Henry's the same way. I won't speak for him, but me and him get
Yeah,
along.
sounds like you're trying.
About anybody.
You know, honestly though, hand to the Bible, the number one thing in life is literally, I don't know if luck's the right word, but the right place at the right time. And that's literally all my social media come down to.
Yeah.
You guys have known me my entire life, or well, the boys haven't, but I mean, you have. I don't act any different in person as what I do on social. That's just, we call each other dick bags when we see each
Absolutely.
other. Like, that's not a,
You have literally make a living off doing the same thing that we've been doing for years.
yeah. And it was,
If you walked into your brother's house in 1995,
yeah. And my brother that still lives here today would be the
you'd
same
be
way.
like, hey, dick bags, what's going on?
Yeah. And it wasn't just me. We all did it.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. Everybody that walked in the door was going to call you a different name. And
Yep.
your goal was to use the same name that somebody had used 20 minutes before that, right?
Exactly.
Like that's just the way it was.
yep.
But apparently that's not nationwide
I
from
guess
what
not.
I've gathered. And people enjoy it. I've literally seen people be like, hey, I'll pay you $5 to call my brother an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally right place at the right time. That's all it was. It was luck. I didn't do anything any
Well,
different
life's
than
all about timing.
it is.
And, you know,
I didn't do anything any different than anybody else. I guess the only thing that maybe I done, if you're going to say if there's any maybes, is I put it out in front of everybody where everybody else was thinking it and they didn't. Well, I don't want to say that because you
for
know,
a variety of reasons.
teachers,
Yeah.
kids may see it, or you know, or,
Yeah,
or
whatever
kids,
it
teachers.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know, but just the way it is. But there,
So just insult people when you walk into the room. That's what we learned today.
but there is a lot of timing involved in life.
Oh, for
I mean,
sure. For sure.
Hell, I know guys that have bought farms literally from being at the right
Yeah.
place at the right time. I mean, literally.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Being at the coffee shop, and this guy said he thought about selling it. Well, what do you want for it? Boom, it
Yeah.
happened right there.
Yeah. That's a fact. Yeah.
But yeah, always get to know as many people as you can. Like literally,
Yeah.
don't dick bag anybody. Don't be an ass. Don't be arrogant. Don't just get to know get to know everybody and get along with everybody.
Yeah.
Which that's something I'm thankful for, being able to tag along with you at the farm show. I met a lot of people from a lot of different areas that
We're all the same.
we're all the same, but it's still like, I don't know how at all. I just know how we farm here in
Yeah.
our area. I don't,
And that
I
is
don't
one
know
thing I have learned.
anything about
It's
that
way
out there.
different in different places.
Yeah.
You don't have to go that far and get really different really fast. But the people are still good people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in the farm community, it all still pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Resonates.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, always remember just keep an open mind too. You know, that's probably been a downfall to a lot of people older than us. And I'm not going to pick on the baby boomers. I guess that's an easy target just because our grandpas were so much older and they've all been dead and gone. But there's been a lot of people get stuck in one frame of mind. You have to do it this way. There's no other way. That's not right. I'm not saying you guys
necessarily the
don't know some stuff and don't have it figured out and it's working, but sometimes there is a better way to do things.
Yeah.
You know. So always remember that. And even if you either one of you guys grow businesses and have employees, don't think, well, just because this guy's my employee, he don't know shit. He may know something that you don't.
Yeah. You may have a better idea than you do on it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Been a lot of people that have started their own company that was an employee for this guy doing the same thing over here and put him out of business.
Absolutely.
So-
So that happens pretty regular.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the main thing is you'll never get anywhere in life being a hard ass and just treating everybody like shit and being an arrogant fuck and you're better than everybody else. I promise that will not work. It won't. I promise. The only way it will is if you marry into it and you got $5 million backing you, where you can afford to be an asshole because it don't matter. But that still ain't right. But
No.
starting from scratch, it will not work.
No.
Hell, I know businesses that I won't go into just because a guy treated me like shit when I was there. It's like, fuck you. I'll go over here and pay more just because I don't like you,
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
I don't know. Have we covered it all?
I think we've covered most of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Nothing else you guys want to add to this?
I don't think so.
Nothing at all.
Yeah.
If anybody's looking for a job that wants to run some cattle, I might have a few openings.
I thought you was an HVAC guy.
Yeah.
Well, we're expanding.
Okay. Gonna get diversified.
Air conditioned cattle.
There you go. Oh, yeah.
Heated and cooled.
Someone's got to heat and cool those new Polaris side-by-sides.
That's
coming
true.
out, so.
Somebody has to.
Yeah. Yeah, that they do. Well, I guess if you guys are done, then we're going to be done.
Yeah.
You guys looking for any FFA girls? When you put this out there, they probably don't listen to this, but like,
I'm
you guys want to put your snap handles or
I personally already have an FFA girl. Henry is
Henry's available.
He's wide open.
He's very available.
Bob's wide open. We'd have a contest. You think we could find Bob a good girl on TikTok? Like, should I just put this out there? Like, not just just anybody, but like, should I put you on this?
We'll get her out here for
Whatever you want to do. It seems like we should be, trying to find that for you, Bob, but
It's up to you guys.
yeah.
Not my deal.
Yeah. We'll put your helicopter mom on charge of this.
I'm sure there's some fan
Well,
out there
there'll never be anybody good
give their
enough.
daughter
Like,
No.
Yeah.
anyway, I guess we'll see everybody next time, then, right?
Thanks for tuning in.
Yep. See you next time.